Well, we are back, huh? We're back at the 9 Club, everybody, today. Whoa, today we have a special guest.
I think you need to give him double the special.
special guest. Dave Duncan is with us.
Cheers.
How are you? Dude, cheers, bro.
Cheers.
Look at that, man.
Good night.
Hey, bro.
I've been watching you guys forever, and it's nice to finally be here and see how it works. It's
thank
awesome.
you.
You guys got a killer set.
Thank you, bro. Thank you so much for coming, man. This is a
Yeah.
long time in the making. First, you wanted to come on the show. You broke your ribs,
Yeah,
right?
that was
You're in the
crazy.
hospital. You broke your ribs. We had to postpone it.
Yeah.
Then, God damn it, you're getting hernia surgery.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You're just kill two birds with one stone.
I had a great couple of years. I was solid. Yeah, and then all of a sudden the hernia, it didn't bother me, but the doc's like, if you're just laid up, you should probably get it done now because over time, if your intestines get involved, I've had to talk to the people like, get it. The earlier you get it done, the better.
Sure.
So,
and like you said, it wasn't bothering you, but it was just something that was there.
It was maybe just barely sticking out of my belly button, just a little.
A little bump on your belly button.
That's all it was. Yeah. It's really common too, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
I don't even know how it happened. I mean, I'm lifting stuff at work, being a carpenter. But I don't think it was a strain like that.
It's probably just throughout the years.
Yeah,
probably just formed. And then they got to put you out for that, right? You got to go under, and then you. So you had broken ribs.
Yeah.
And you're getting hernia surgery.
So I didn't. They asked me. I didn't tell them I had broken ribs. I got hernia surgery.
Okay.
But then when I was coming to, she's like, "How's your pain?" I'm like, "Oh, it's an 8." She kept giving me more stuff, and I'm like, "It's bad." And so she gave me fentanyl, which I love. I'll tell you some stories.
Oh wow!
It's like synthetic heroin. It puts a smile on your face. I've never done heroin. But it puts a smile on your face where you're in another world.
Right.
So she gave me that, and I put it in Instagram. I'm on the fentanyl, and was like, "Watch out, dude! You're gonna kill you." I'm like, "No, that was just a couple shots in the hospital."
Well, I mean, it's under doctor supervision.
Yeah.
Right.
But it made me happy. I was that whole fucking day. I was happy as shit when I came home.
Yeah.
The guy that picked me up, I was told everyone's like, dude, it was like I loved life. It was cool.
I feel like you're still happy.
It was funny. Oh yeah, I'm a happy guy, but give me a shot of fentanyl.
Well, there is an epidemic now. There's a bootleg
who
stuff.
Be happy? It's like Disneyland every day, or whatever adult Disneyland is. I don't know.
Yeah. But under doctor supervision.
So I actually now I've been on the Norcos for a while, which is kind of like Vicodin, and I try. They said every 4 hours, 6 hours. I'm back to like 8 to 12 hours now. I'm stretching on because I don't want to be.
You don't want to be
shit, no.
Right.
But when I need it, I need it. I've pretty much been on it for a few weeks, and that's why it wasn't working. That's why she had to keep giving me because I've been on for my ribs. I'd been on that. And she's like, "Why is this not?" Because your body builds a tolerance.
Yeah, of course.
So you got to be careful because it makes you happy. Like it makes any worries you have, they just go away. So
you can see why people get addicted to stuff like that.
Let me say something about skateboarding.
Yeah.
When you get on your skateboard and you're going, I remember when I was a kid just going to skate, dude, your worries are gone. You're just in the moment. You're just, you forget everything. And that's kind of like when people smoke weed or do any kind of drug. It's like you're in a fantasy world. You're not reality. And then who doesn't want to just fuck the world? I'm just going to go enjoy myself. So I can understand why people get addicted because, hey, especially like skater and stuff, this adrenaline rush that we get, once your career goes down a little, the Gator stories and Hosoi stories or whatever, it's
Yeah, you could see it, right?
Yeah.
Wait, how did you break your ribs?
Dude, I was snowboarding Mountain High. They closed the 15 freeway to go to Vegas.
Okay.
This lady's on news. This has not happened in 30 years. So much snow. I'm like, fuck, I'm going up. Nope, roads are closed. You can't go to Mountain High. The next morning, I'm like, fuck, I'm on it. I'm going. But there was so much traffic. Everybody's on it. It was hard to get parking, whatever. So I finally get it going, and then I parked in a weird place, and I was blocking someone in, so I got out of the car to figure out what was going on, and I literally just slipped, did a Mr. Wilson, feet up in the air, all my body, 240 pounds, elbow to the ribs.
Wait, this was in the parking lot? You weren't even...
You broke your own ribs.
Yeah, people are like, are you okay? And I had the wind knocked, like, oh yeah, I'll be all right.
Oh my God.
And I went and rode that day, dude. It was epic, knee deep powder, which never happens. It's a really rare day at Mountain High. Mountain High's like an hour and a half drive from my house, and I love snowboarding. I've been to all like Tahoe and Utah and Europe. I've created Alaska, heliboarding, I love snowboarding. Seriously.
Okay, yeah.
So this was like a dream day for me, and I took off work like, fuck, I'm going snowboarding today.
Sure.
I gotta go. It's blue sky, perfect visibility.
God, you broke your ribs in
I know.
in the parking lot.
I came home like, okay, maybe they're bruised. So I've had bruised ribs just skating, And then a couple days later, I talked to this guy, Rick Thorne. He did the Warp Tour, and his lungs got filled with stuff, and he could have died. You could die.
Yeah.
He told me,
Fluid
he goes,
in the
dude,
lungs,
you need, and I was getting the stuff where you the phlegm where you can, and I couldn't cough it up because I couldn't cough because you can't laugh, you can't breathe deep, and when you can't breathe deep, it just starts getting in there.
Sure.
So, and I'm laying on the bed. I couldn't lay down. I couldn't roll over. I'm like, something's wrong.
Okay.
I went to hospital. I go, let's just get this shit checked out. I called Rick. Hey, dude, what? He goes, go to the hospital, get checked out. And they go, yeah, they're broken, and yeah, you got shit in your lungs, whatever. And eventually, I'm okay now. But
wow,
it was an issue. But like I said, I had a few great years, and I've had so many injuries. We can get to that later.
Yeah.
I mean, it's part of skating. If you're gonna be push yourself, and I try not to push. I try to just cruise and have fun. Which luckily, I'm still rolling because of that. But for a while, until I was probably 35, I was a teenager. I was going berserk. I don't care. I was slamming, getting nuts, So I had a good life for a long time.
Sure, yeah.
And I just, all these new parks, I do play. When I get somewhere, I travel, I want to be able to ride. I want to go ride with the homies, go have fun. And
yeah.
So, I don't have to do the rad tricks I used to. I just go out and have fun,
That's what it is, right?
So,
yeah.
At least at this age, Yeah.
And you're still doing it, man. We'll get into the whole contest day, announcing all the contests, World Cups, and X Games, and
I've been
it's
so
just
blessed with that travel. I just love to travel. Even as a kid, I would take the bus to a different neighborhood. I would just love to travel. Seriously, we'd go to the beach and just, I just wanted to get out there and what's the world.
Yeah, so, and that's the beauty of skateboarding. Is being able to travel the world.
All the teams get in a van and go road trip to shops. I love that. I love just getting in the van with the boys. People are just puffing, partying, weed, whatever, just fucking living it up.
It's the best.
Yeah, nothing better than getting with your friends and having a good time.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting because I'm super interested in how you even got into that. I mean, you did Olympics, snowboarding announcing, and all that stuff. We'll definitely touch on that because it's fascinating.
It's a lot. It's 40 years of skateboarding.
A lot. Yeah. Right. Let's take a trip back. Let's go back to early. It's the 60s, 70s.
Behind you, right there. If you want to show the world.
This little
1916. I was born in 62. So in 69, every garage I think had one of these, like a hula hoop and a yo-yo and a skateboard.
Those are the three.
It was like a you got checkers or whatever, Monopoly, just whatever. But this was in our garage, and every once in a while you just go, hey, what could you do on your board? Can you ride 10 feet? Can you ride down the hill? And it was like a challenge to see because you really couldn't do anything.
Well, they're metal wheels. Yeah. It's very primitive.
In California, you had smooth sidewalks, so you could go clackety clack over the bumps. But I would ride that board, and I got so good. We lived on this downhill that had an uphill, and I'd start at the bottom and go up, and I got to my drive. I'm like, Dad, come watch it. I can go down the hill on the skateboard. My dad comes out and watches. The first time he's ever seen me skate, I ate shit at the bottom. Come back up all bloody. Yeah, I don't know if we should do that anymore. I mean, I did, but eventually, that's in 69. In the early 70s, they came out with clay wheels. Where's my Black Knight I brought? Do we hang it up or something?
It's hanging up or it's over there.
Oh, it's behind him.
Black Knight.
Yeah, that Black Knight had clay wheels. And we used to ride those to school. We had like a mile walk to school every day. And it was just so slow to walk. Took like over a half hour. On a skateboard, you get there in like 10 minutes. So I would skate down the hill looking at people going, when are they going to figure out this is a better way to get around? This is probably 74, 75.
Better mode of transportation.
Yeah.
Now, do you get that at like a hobby shop?
That was $6.99 at Thrifty. Thrifty had this ice cream cones, 5 cents, 10 cents, 15 cents.
They still have them, man.
All you 70s people, yeah. But those boards, a lot of the guys who grew up in the 70s rode those boards. You guys have probably seen the Z-Boys movie and all that. Yeah. Once the urethane came out, and those bearings are loose ball bearings right there. Okay. You spin them, they would fall out. Like you're riding, all of a sudden your wheel's off. And you're
looking for all the balls trying to get them.
Yeah, you have to put them back in. So once urethane came, for a little while, first year, urethane had loose ball bearings too, and then eventually they became precision bearings.
Yeah, sure.
But that changed. I call it the magic carpet ride because it just changed.
Oh, urethane. I mean, you could go anywhere.
It was just like the Z-Boys. Our high school had asphalt banks. We're skating to school on these driveways, hitting the driveways inside, and it was like you're surf skating. We were surfing a little bit then, and the kids in our neighborhood were surfers.
And this is Huntington Beach.
No, I grew up in San Diego.
San Diego.
I was born in Long Beach.
Okay.
Long Beach. My dad wanted to move to San Diego because he thought it was like clean living and cool, whatever. So I grew up in San Diego, and then I moved to Oregon when I was like 12.
Oh,
so I was
the
first person in Oregon to have urethane wheels. And I was like, what's this? From California, a kid from California. So I came back from Oregon a couple years later. My mom got pregnant with my kid. She goes, I don't want to have the kid up here, my little brother. So we moved back to San Diego.
Okay.
All my friends I grew up with were way better than me. Fuck, how'd you guys get so good? Urethane wheels, we're ripping pools. I'm like, how? What? So I got on this accelerated pace to get good at skateboarding. I passed them all up.
You were
so upset. No, I got so upset. I got sponsored, started doing contests like in the 70s. They started building skate parks. The very first park I went to was Carlsbad. It was one of the first in the world I've heard. There was supposedly one in Florida. Who cared? It didn't count as California, but whatever. No, because in the mags, it was California, dude. You see Jay Adams on the cover of one of them doing the bomb, like nose tail grab. What do you call it? The bomb things on or whatever. Flying out. First time you see air on a skateboard in the magazine was Jay Adams at this. Anyways, we ride there, and then they started building parks all over San Diego.
Sure.
And I got sponsored. We rode a few parks in Orange County in the 70s. They closed them all down because of insurance. You break your arm, sue for $1 million, whatever.
Exactly.
Stupid. Yeah. So now the laws are different. You can't sue for that anymore. So all the parks closed except for Del Mar. And I was on my own then. I was working as a carpenter. My mom moved back to Long Beach. And I'm like, I got to move to Del Mar and just skate the hell out because that's the last park around. They had a good park. They had a half pipe. They had a reservoir. They had all these pools. And then, the big contests every once in a while. So I was a local. I lived like a mile or two away. And everybody, that's when I started meeting like Lance Mountain, Neil Blender, Les Kasai, Hosoi's dad would drop him off and he'd be training for the contest. He's 15 and I would take care of him. He'd stay at my house. I'd drive him to these underage nightclubs. I think I was 20 at the time.
Okay. Oh, so you're 20. He's
He's 15,
yeah.
Whatever. And then I was the guy, I think eventually I was 21. I'm in the parking lot drinking beers. I was the older, everyone else is teenagers. Tony Hawk, those guys are 5 years younger than me.
Okay.
So I was a little bit older. That's why eventually when it came to contests, I became the judge kind of, because I'm a little older than them. And I had a good life in skateboarding. So that's kind of was like, hey, I want these guys.
Yeah. And when you say you were sponsored, you were getting sponsored, who was your...
Pro-Am was a company. Jim Gray knows about it. He was right for him too.
Okay.
They'd take a bus from, a van from Spring Valley or wherever, my local park, to Skatopia every Wednesday. We have like a team meet, go to the factory, and they made everything, board, shirts, wheel. You have your team jersey and all that.
Yeah.
Pro-Am Pure Gold was the thing. Anyways, and then did a few contests and stuff, but then it all died. Skateboarding all died. In the 80s, we would go to these skate parks that used to be old, and like Colton was one of our favorites. Colton had an amazing park, one of the later parks, and they closed them. We drive from San Diego to Riverside and just jump under the fences, right? The cops would come, we hide in the bowls, and it was just like, dude, a skate park. We're like, where did everybody go? I remember seeing Steve Olson and some other guys out there skating too. And we're like, where did everyone, a year ago, there was hundreds of kids here. Where is everyone? And they were in the backyards, or they quit, whatever. Even the pros quit. Like, I remember Eric Grisham, Losi, those guys around. I'm like, what happened? God, we're done. We already did it all.
Oh, wow.
Whatever.
Yeah. So no sponsors or everything got dropped.
Tony Hawk would make, $500, I guess, for the first place for a contest. A lot of them were less than that, 200, 100. Like, there was really no future in it, nothing. It was really dead. I remember there was 17 pros in the world in like 83, I think. They all came to the contest.
How
That's
crazy
it. You
is
can name
that?
it. I can, you name them all, Lester and Lance and all those guys, whatever, And I just love skating. So I would build ramps for my friends in backyards. I'd always build ramps. And I've been a carpenter my whole life. I was a union carpenter. I learned how to build shit.
Oh, yeah.
So
you were building houses and stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
So eventually they put me on the tour doing NSA with Frank Hawk. So like, hey, you want to come? We'll give you a hotel, airfare, you make some money, $1,000 or whatever to help build these ramps and judge the contests and whatever. I'm like, sure, what a dream,
You're almost making more money than the skaters winning
I would
first
get
place.
third place money, third place. I barely on the podium every day. Danny Way would say that. Danny Way's like, Duncan, you win every contest. But I'm having most fun too. I'm out there having fun. It's not. I don't have stress. I don't have to.
And it seems like that's what you love to do. So building these ramps for these guys.
Dude, to have a ramp and then Tony Hawk and the guys come and flood, dude. You're part of something huger than life.
Yeah,
right.
And they have to have the ramp done because the kids are coming and you're in an arena and you got to work all night and the show must go on. Yeah, and I'm serious. It's not to build a ramp in 3 days or whatever. Fuck, a lot of work.
A lot of work. Right.
Yeah, and I did that all over the world. I remember going to Copenhagen. We did these events in Copenhagen where we built a vert ramp and street course from scratch. I'd have like 25 kids working for me. Barely knew how to use a drill, but we would build an amazing 40-foot wide vert. Rune would win every year, of course.
Okay.
And then the street, fuck, I don't know, whatever. Just crazy times. It's on a napkin. Hey, what do you want to do? How do you want to, like, freestyling the
you were literally
designing and build. Well, they have a rough idea. We want to step up here in a pyramid here and how high, the angles, try and figure it all out. And because every event, I'm talking to pros, how high do you guys like stuff, their handrails.
Oh, yeah, you're working with the pros to design the course.
Yeah.
Right.
So I know what they like, what worked. Oh, this event, that was good. So piece these things together. I remember there's a classic 80s thing, actually 90s. It was in the Euro, they called it Euro Gap. Yep. And that original one was in London, England. We had built a hip and the whole, it was like a bold corner, so it had a foot high curb on it. But on the hip, I didn't want the curb, so I took out the curb. So it had like a 6 foot or 8 foot gap from where the curb hip was to where the curb started.
Sure.
And everyone started flying. And then we had a ledge on the ground that was like 2 foot high, just a little ledge on the ground. Somebody took and put it up there. So now you're going up the step up gap, hitting ledge tricks and ledge trick down. So it created this whole new thing, just throwing stuff out
just
there.
on a whim.
Yeah.
You were just like,
and everyone in California is like, what is these Euro gaps? Because it was always, I did these for Germany and London and wherever all these events we did in Europe. We didn't have them in America yet. So it was originally called London Gap. Now it's Euro
Gap. Yeah.
It's in all the 411s. In all the 411s.
No, for sure. What year was this?
90s.
Wow. Euro Gap.
Is it late 90s? God, it's
It couldn't have been
I
late.
feel
It
like
could have been early.
Mid,
Yeah.
Like
early,
94.
yeah, mid to early.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, 94, 95. Yeah. I remember Mike Vallely talked about there was a boycott he did one year, 95 security guys clotheslined him or something. And
Because Munster kept putting out the same course.
Yeah. The guy had money, just whatever. So that was me. I was building those courses, but they were like, "Oh, you have to use the course from last year." I'm not the money dude. I do what I'm told.
Sure. Right.
And then it eventually changed. Another thing that changed things when Maloof, not to jump around too much,
Yeah,
but when
go ahead,
Maloof came in the game and started making concrete courses, that changed everything.
It
Now
did.
X Games has to do a dude tour. Now you have these concrete bowls and all that. Dude, wow, how crazy is our life?
Yeah.
When I did it, they're like, "Oh, we don't have the budget. You can't have an extra $1,000." No, there's $100,000. Where do you get the money?
Well, the
Where's the
Maloofs
money
come
come from?
Yeah, the Maloofs come in. They're fucking billionaires.
Dude,
So-
$100,000 first place.
Yeah.
Like, what's
Oh,
X
yeah.
Games, 50 grand? We're doing 100 grand. It's not like that anymore. I don't
Sure.
think.
It-
That
It's
was
street
a
league kind of.
crazy
It will
time.
be again, though.
Yeah.
What's that?
It will be again. Everything
You got hope. It probably will. I guess with inflation or whatever. Yeah.
After the Olympics?
Yeah. Who
We'll
knows?
see.
I
We'll
don't
see.
know what- is there even money for Olympics? This is gold, silver.
I think the
bronze.
most right now is like 15 grand for the wings.
But
So
after
it's-
that, the
It's like
interest in skateboarding is going to grow, and people are going to oh, I want to watch this, and guarantee the purse will get bigger.
So you're right. The Olympics is going to help everything.
Yeah, it's
come
going
out.
to help it.
Yeah.
the
maybe.
sponsor, a lot of the sponsors have pulled out of the contest series.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's,
Right,
that's what they were supporting all that. Now
Right.
they're all out of it. So
Yeah.
But if the Olympics can show well and on TV, whatever, guaranteed NBC would be like, you know what? Fuck it, we're going to do our own do tour type
Hey,
thing.
that's how
whatever.
X Games started. We used to pay X Games. We did the Vans Triple Crown. We would pay them for that time slot. And that's how the Do Tour started. They were
Okay.
trying to sell the Do Tour. Vans Tour, it was like 40 million they owed or something from all this time. You can buy it, but whatever. So I think that's when Vans Triple Crown switched to turn into Do Tour. And I know X Games is like, fuck, they're paying us for this. Let's just create our own
Yeah.
thing. And they had sky surfing, all this weird ass stuff, trying to figure it out.
Sure.
Rock climber, whatever they did. I don't know. Anyway, it's crazy time. I seen all that. It was crazy.
And then going back when you got on Alva, you were just skating.
I actually skated. So you said something about Uncle Wiggly.
Uncle Wiggly, yeah.
Uncle Wiggly.
Okay.
I used to skate with Tony Magazine. These guys, Stedham and Bador, used to work in the wood shop. I'd go to the wood shop and they'd make me whatever I wanted. So I was basically sponsored by Uncle Wiggly. And they're like, if you enter these contests, you get free boards at Del Mar. And I never really was in a con at that time, but I'm like, all right, cool. I'll do this. And
Yeah.
it was fun. They had bank slalom and cross country and pools and full pipe. And it was kind of fun.
Cross country?
Yeah.
What was-
Cross country was where you'd ride
ski
all
poles?
over the park with cones. You'd go around cones.
Oh, okay,
all
okay.
around. It was in a skate park.
Okay.
They do it at Sheckler's thing. They've done it. I
Yeah.
don't know if you guys seen that.
It's like a
Sheckler's
speed
thing.
trial.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a speed, like a slalom, but you're all over up on the banks and the walls.
Yeah.
Kind of like bank slalom all over the park.
and it's a race basically.
Yeah, it's a race, which is
Okay.
cool. 2 guys head to head go, or one guy at a time. They time you.
Yeah.
Thing,
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
But I think with Sheckler's they do a race head to head,
I
which
think
is
the race
easier
is
to
more
judge.
it's
Fun to
funner
watch.
It's just fun. Yeah. So
It's basically
Anyhow.
any Max Supercross, whatever.
yeah, where are we going with this? I don't know where.
just going into skating for Alva.
Oh, for Alva. Oh, yeah. So Uncle Wiggly, I wrote, they said, in these contests, you get free boards. They did that. Started getting pretty good. And then I was sponsored. So we go to Upland, and Sonia was like, if you want to judge the 1A, 2A, 3, which is beginner, intermediate, advanced, I'll give you $50. You judge these kids, and you get gas money, beer money, and, you ride the factory division, factory sponsored.
Okay.
And she
So I'm
ran
like,
Castle,
cool.
right?
So I asked, and Bo Brown was riding for Madrid at the time. He's like a slalom dude. He was an announcer, and I was listening to him, and he just didn't entertain me very much. He wasn't a pool skater. He wasn't there the night before with the guy. I'm like, I think I could do better. And he goes, please, Dave, yeah, please. I'm just trying to help Sonia out here. I'm just volunteer, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. So I started announcing those, and it was fun because I know inside jokes about the guys.
Yeah.
And I knew what tricks they're doing. I knew their lines from the night before from practice, and I have stories, at the nightclub, whatever. So it was fun. Actually, doing the amateur thing was fun. So once I started doing the NSA, which Sonia and Frank were involved with the National Skateboard Association, doing the ramps, hey, you're already here. I think Savannah Slamma was my first one I did.
That was
I
the
think
first one.
87, 88 was where Kevin Thatcher had the design. Goes, Dave, you want to build this for me? So I'm like, okay, cool. And then eventually me and Tim Payne worked together doing vert ramps.
Okay.
Which Paul Schmidt and him did ramps in Florida.
Right.
So, and he was a carpenter like me. So we worked together. We kicked ass on these big, building the vert ramp things.
Huh.
So
Crazy.
So anyway, so the Alva thing, get back to that. So I'm riding these Uncle Wiggly boards. Hosoi comes out with
I
this.
love that name. Yeah, that name's great.
Hosoi came out with it. Well, they were high-tech boards, foam and Kevlar.
My
and
first
really
board
good
was
shit,
Uncle
yeah.
Wiggly.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, really high-tech Kevlar, like really crazy experimental shit.
Wow.
And the best boards out there. But then it just wasn't super remarkable like Santa Cruz or GNS or whatever, So Alva, so I was good friends with him. So like I say, his dad would drop him off, we'd hang out, and he had this fish board, and I'm riding his board going, I love it. His big tail, my big feet. And then I didn't want to have Uncle Wiggly make me a fish. I thought it'd be disrespectful to him.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is before everyone started getting crazy on the shapes. I'm like, I went and bought off Great Britain or Swift, one of those guys. Hey, can I buy that Alva board for $40? And then Tony Alva see me in Venice with it. Goes, how you like your Alva board? I'm like, I love it. I need more. I crack them, I break them. I'm thrashing on them. He goes, okay, well, we'll get them to you. You do condos. Eventually, I started getting them free, and I got them from all my buddies. I get them for $20. So I get a box like 10 boards and sell them to all my buddies for $20.
Okay.
I'd give them the money back too. They were basically, I was like a little outlet of.
Oh, cool.
So and then a lot of those guys started getting them free later once Alva grew.
Right.
So I actually ended up being a team manager for Alva. Once they moved from Venice, Santa Monica down to San Juan in like '87, right when I turned pro.
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't you turn pro and then you were team manager
right
at the same time?
Yeah, because I was like, I'm not going to build carpenter shitty me. Oh, I got a great story for you.
Yeah.
We just skipped. I broke my wrist. At Del Mar, leaned back, broke my wrist, didn't know it, whatever. No, sorry, I broke my thumb.
Okay.
And I'm at work being a carpenter, my thumb's just throbbing for a month. My boss like, why don't you get that fixed? I'm like, I don't have insurance, whatever, He goes, go tell him you fell at work. It'll get covered by workman's comp.
Okay.
So like, oh, okay, it's all messed up. You got to have surgery. It's going to take you a few months. And then, by the way, during the x-rays, you notice your wrist has been broken. And I used to duct tape my wrist and shit because you break your wrist, that scavoid, it hurts for a few minutes. And you're like, okay, I can live with it.
Yeah.
And that's how it was. It still worked, but it's just every once in a while you slam. So for 2 years, I was getting workman's comp disability. I'm like $224 a month. So now I start going to Brazil. I'm going to Europe. I'm going to Hawaii. I got all these crazy road trip stories for you of just basically like a semi-pro. I'm sponsored, but I don't have a job. So that's when I started doing the team manager thing. Was right. I never went back. From like 85, I think I was in a cast from 85, so never went back to building houses.
Right. You use your disability
85.
money to skate. Yeah.
Wait, did you just say you were in a cast from 85
I was in
to
a cast
87?
on and off because they were doing electronic stimulation, all this shit, kind of on and off. Yeah.
And do you still have your stuff from the hospital on?
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah. Well, no, this was just a couple days ago from last week.
Yeah. Hernia surgery.
Yeah, hernia surgery. Yeah, whatever.
So you're using.
I'm with the band.
So now, how did
the
you?
wristband again.
But how did you feel though, like actually turning pro now, and then being the team manager at the same time?
Great. It was great because I knew
Okay.
all the guys already, and it was extra money. I basically worked 12 days a week whenever I wanted to get $100 a day, so $1,200 a month. And I just have to show up in the office, told to go and ship the guy's product, or work on the ads, or go to the factory and work on the shapes and the graphics.
So you were working like half the month.
Yeah,
in the office.
But I could do it. I travel. Hey, we're going to Australia for a few weeks. We're going to Europe. We're going to wherever the events were, and they give me money. I have the van. I could drive to Arizona with all the guys, go skate pools. I basically had the van. It was killer. It was.
Yeah.
The early days. It was a really fun crew. Really fun time.
Speaking of turning pro, you were before the show. You wanted to tell us a story about your first pro board and the wood grains and everything.
Are we seeing the camera? Is the camera zeroed in on that right now? We'll be able to see that.
Yeah, we see it.
So Alva, I loved Alva in the 70s. He was the king of it all. And Jay Adams, just that whole vibe. They looked like they were just having a lot of fun. And I'm like, man, I love that. Surfing, skating, just living the life, man. So to ride for him was a dream, but I just looked at him bigger life. So I kept his name big because Alva, that was it. So
it was a brand.
As the grains of a tree, the wood grain every year symbolizes a different year of the bark or whatever.
Yeah.
So a tree is 50 years old, it's gonna have 50 of those little circles on. Yeah. So as Alva grew, I just look at it like I grew into the Alva vibe, and then he had the Bruce Lee Enter the Dragon scratches. So my buddy made these crazy monsters, and she made like a 3D thing of that. And it was Dave Duncan design, so I made it 3D. So together we designed this crazy graphic. And there was a trip I did with Gator and Chris Hosoi and Losi out to Ridgecrest. We rode this ramp, and it was like a 3-hour drive from Orange County. We get there nighttime. We can't ride the ramp, so we're just partying. These guys kegger party, and these guys like, you want to try mushrooms? We got these. So we ate these cheeseburgers with mushrooms on them, whatever. We had a wild, trippy night. Had a blast with these crazy dudes, and the sun starts creeping up in the morning. And we're like, the ramp. We hadn't ridden the ramp. We heard all about this crazy ramp. And there's this before Masonite or Skate Light. It was plywood. So I'm trying to ride this ramp, And just getting up to lip to do grinds, I was having trouble focusing because the wood grain, if you look at a piece of plywood closely, it's kind of hallucinogenic the way it's tight and loose, and it's just you're flying. I just remember that.
Plus you're on mushrooms.
So this probably it was probably a year before I did that drawing, and it was one of my things. Whenever I did drawings, I would trace lines around it to create that same kind of dimension thing. And
okay.
anyway, so it kind of has some meaning. A lot of guys just do graphics with cartoons on them or weird shit these days, and that to me had a lot of me. There was so much history with Alva and whatever.
Right.
And then the shape, I kind of had the fish shape that Hosoi had, but I add these little bumps because when I have my cast that we're talking about, I couldn't grab backside. My thumb was there, so I did mute grabs. But in order to grab it, it helped having those little bumps in the rails that I could actually grab.
The money bumps.
Money bump. Well, the money bump is actually the back truck.
Oh.
If you look at when you put a base plate on or whatever, they're just a little bit above those holes in the back for the base plate. And kids used to break them on lawn tramp days. That was because once people came out of the fish, that was the weakest part of the board.
Yeah.
So if you add a little extra wood there, that's why they called them the money bump is technically that to make the board last longer.
Interesting.
We get so many boards back, broken boards, and we give the kid a brand new board.
And it'd be right there where the back truck is.
If you look just above the holes where you think of a base plate,
right there
would be So and then some people didn't know they'd put those things right in line with it, and it didn't work because you have to have room for the base plate. Right? There's a hole they're above.
Science.
Is that
Anyways,
funny? It's born out of necessity.
Yeah, you learn something new every day. So, but actually,
you need more nanotubes there.
Everybody before that just had really plain shapes because the factories didn't want to do weird shit. But Alva had their own factory. Like, you can do whatever you want, really. Let's do, because the fish was unique, and let's do crazy, So I started doing Hammerhead, and we just started doing weird shit. So, anyways, you see a lot, and I see guys had that nightmare right hammer thing up there.
Yeah.
Gripple stiff thing. That's cool. I follow Peter Hewitt all the time, and he's always doing funny stuff with that. It's crazy to see all that. But I just love. It's just cool to see that era when everyone had their own unique shape. Blender had his, Lance had his, and so you could see, that's a Roscop. Everybody had their own.
Yeah. Sure.
So just by looking at a silhouette of it, you knew whose board it was.
Isn't that crazy?
Which was cool. It was the 80s,
Yeah.
Wow. We weren't doing flip tricks. It wasn't technical. It wasn't until Rocco kind of made it more of like a freestyle board, the popsicle stick thing, and made it real balanced for 360 flips and all that. Back then we were just charging, doing whatever. But
pools.
I know
stuff,
Phillips and these guys always wanted the double kick, and eventually it came.
I mean, even the wheel wells on there, it's like minuscule.
Yeah.
Super small.
Yeah. Mine, if you look at my new board behind you, we have big wheel wells on that, which are proper, which you need. You need
sure.
Because I like riding with no riser or small riser, so I like to be able to turn and not get that wheel road.
Yeah, you like the metal on the wood.
Yeah, I like to be low.
What size wheels were you riding on, like the Alva board?
Back then, we were doing 60s a lot. I remember Santa Monica Airlines had a 56 that I loved. It felt so low. Yeah. But the terrain was rough back then. Skate parks were rough. Ramps were plywood, whatever. Now, everything's so smooth and perfect. I ride 56s, 58s now. They're great. Like in the combi pool, 58's all I need because 60s, you start getting wheel bite and whatever, and they're just too heavy, too much. Yeah. So 58 to me is a big wheel, but no, a lot of street guys ride 54s, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
53, even 52s,
48s right now.
48s.
Yeah.
You are?
No, they got small. Yeah, they got
fucking
small.
Love them right now.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
40 is good. Yeah.
Well, that's like 90s.
Yeah.
My backup coffee here.
Yeah,
Got a
bunch of backups.
Oh, shit, I got a beer back here. Is this mine or yours?
You can take it.
It's mine now, huh? Steal your beer.
There we go.
So when you're pro, you turn pro, you got that board.
There's a joke. A guy said, I had a beard for breakfast because I love it so much, I had another one for dessert.
There you go. And you were team manager. Were you like putting together tours and doing all this?
Yeah.
Like, what was your... You were.
Dude, I would get this guy from Australia. Was like, hey, I want to bring Craig Johnson and Gibson and whoever there, Murph, Radiano,
and they're talking to you,
talking to me, and I'm getting. And then he goes, why don't you come too? I'm like, okay, cool, because he's like, I need you to manage the guy. He didn't know him.
Yeah.
And they listen to me, get in the van, get up, whatever. So, dude, I'm like, all right, 3 weeks we did all over Australia. We rode this thing in Perth. It was a moving skate. To this day, no one in the world knows about this thing. It was, imagine a merry-go-round that's maybe 40 feet wide, 30 feet wide, that has like pump bumps in it, like a pump track they have now.
Yeah. Okay.
And it goes in circles, forward, backwards, fast, slow, and you drop into it, and then you drop in, you time this merry-go-round. Yeah, or you could just sit there and ride it. It was a moving
It's rotating.
It's rotating. This guy it's like a machine thing. Somebody ripped off the pro shop, never seen again. The part closed I was at. We have footage of it.
Oh, you do?
But I always thought about, like, in the future, you can have hydraulic rails. You can do so many things.
They already do.
They do.
Yeah. Do they now? Okay, see,
Yeah.
I thought...
Denmark has them at their park,
So there's so many things you can... I mean, this was 20 years ago, 80s. whatever is it? However long
No,
that is.
A little longer than that.
88, 98, 2008. Oh, gee, 30 years.
Was it good though?
Dude,
Was it
so
good?
Fun.
It was
so
fun.
fun. It had like a big quarter pipe on the far side. You hit this thing, it would spit you out. Hit the quarter pipe, come back.
I don't understand, and it's rotating
And
as you're
rotating.
skating
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
Basically, like you're riding on
You
top
have
of
to
it.
go with it though. If it was coming at you, it'd be like hitting a speed bump. It would throw you off. You have to time it and go with it, or it would spit you out.
How weird.
You roll over the back side of it, and it would spit you out, dude. I know. So anyway, and we did like.
Were you just going back and forth? You
probably
were
got
going.
fast
kind of.
You were going back and forth.
Yeah, you drop
You were-
into it, you hit it, and you come around, and you just do it. It's basically kind of a one hit deal.
weird.
But you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
start
yeah.
in it and just hang out there and skate it like a little wave as it moves around. I know,
That's a
just
trip.
Weird shit. Yeah, you have to dig up that footage somewhere. But yeah, we went all over Australia. It was fun, and another amazing one. This is gonna take a minute, but it's part of skate history. '89. I went to Hawaii to do one of those big NSA cons where Gons did the gap.
Y
I don't know if
ramp?
you guys were, yeah, okay. So I helped build that ramp. This is the first time we were doing Frank Hawk and everybody. They got rid of Frank and somehow he wanted to go anyways. So Don Bostic started, who does World Cup now. That was his first event in Hawaii. So he's my new boss. Hey, how you doing? Okay, so I'm judging, announcing whatever I'm doing and building the ramp. But this guy from Japan is there. He goes, Alva team, I love you guys. I want to bring you to Japan. You should come to Japan. I'm like, Japan? That's so foreign to me. I've never been, never thought of going. I don't even like Japanese girls, whatever. But seriously, now I love them because they're amazing once you go there. But back then, I just had no desire. So he sends me a fax one day with 10 names of vert dudes like Hosoi and I don't know, all the gnarly Grosso and everyone. 10 street guys, Eric Dressen, whatever, whoever, I can't even think of names. And then Mofo from Thrasher, Grand Prix from Transworld. And for judges, we had Hosoi and Jay Adams and Hackett were judges.
Okay.
So he's like, we want to bring all these guys to do a big event in Japan. Will you help us? And I'm like, let me say this. You're going to send me and 30 of my best friends to Japan. Am I going to help you? Hell yeah, I'm going to help you.
Let's do this.
So they're like, well, we're going to give you $400, to organize things. Here's a check, $400. And then when you get there, we'll figure out the rest of your money, whatever. So we take the wildest plane ride there. The guy comes, he goes, they don't give enough alcohol. This is back when you could bring in full bottles of alcohol. He goes, they don't give you enough alcohol. Let's break. So we go to the liquor store and get all this alcohol, all this crazy stuff, and have the wildest plane
TSA
ride.
is not taking it.
Oh man, people are puking in barf bags and just shit's getting crazy. Jay Adams had a boom box, he's blasting stuff.
It's amazing.
The stewardess is like, you have to be quiet. And we're like, okay, one more beer. We promise we'll be quiet. Somebody said, oh, we'll promise we'll be quiet. So she comes back, everybody a beer, and 10 minutes later, we're twice as loud.
Right.
So she's in tears.
And you could smoke on the plane too.
So back in the day, yeah. Anyway, so we get off. As we're going to get off, she's on the phone. It seems like we're in trouble.
Oh, no.
They're like, you're the skateboarders. You have to go this way. Everyone else. And I've been traveling. I'm like, this is not cool. If you're normal, you just they're pulling aside for something. Turns out we pull aside. There's a limo bus for us. We're not in trouble.
Yeah, right.
It was VIP. We're on fire. I remember Grosso had to piss so bad he pissed in a cup and tried to throw it out the window and all flew back in. And the whole back of the bus smelled like pee. And those guys went to a nightclub and it cost like $15 for taxi. On the way home, it was like $40. Ben Shortsman was smashing the taxi lights, going, you charged us, you ripped us off, whatever. So then the hotel gets involved. They call the promoter guy, 70-year-old man, at 3 a.m. He comes down. And Grosso's yelling at you fucked us up. You drove us the wrong part. And like, Grosso, that's not the tax. That's your promoter. The tax guy's over here. So anyways.
Wow.
Yeah, just that was a wild one. So I get in the negotiations of my fee. Like how much you get? I usually get a couple grand a week, whatever he goes. The guy goes, he's an interpreter and there's an old man.
Yeah.
Same old man I'm talking about. He goes, tell me you make $5,000. You want $5,000. All right, $5,000. Old guy looks at me, $3,000. I'm like, $4,000. So we shook hands. So
$4,000.
For 1 week, I'm already made the 400 and $4,000 for that week too. I didn't have to build the ramps or sheet ramps anyways, but whatever. I announced it. I ended up being the DJ and the timekeeper too.
Okay.
We went and bought a bunch of music. He's like, yeah, spend money. They bought all the music I wanted for music. And Jay Adams had spent all night, took in some speed pills or some whatever they call it. No, and he was out of his mind. He threw his judge's paper at me middle of the event. I can't judge him. I gotta go, whatever. Because we started with freestyle and it just took forever. It was boring before we got to, and he just couldn't handle it or whatever.
Yeah.
So I ended up judging, doing the time and the DJ announcing and whatever. But for $4,000 for a few days of my life, dude,
That's amazing.
That's a good paycheck.
Oh, this is an
At that
80
time,
89.
Hosoi won the street for $700 and won the vert for $700. He came back with $15,000 cash. You're not allowed to bring over $10,000 in.
Yeah.
He gets in the car with his dad. Dad picks up the airport. Hey, how'd you do? He just starts throwing money in the car.
Just probably laughing.
At that moment, it was the biggest money anybody made in an event.
Seriously.
Because before, like I was saying, 8 years before that was $500 first place. Wow. So anyway, that was one of the fun times. The late 80s were just amazing.
Could you imagine going from 500 to 15,000?
And that's what you know what I want to go back on? Just some of the history in the 70s. when I first started in the mags, guys were only pro for a year or two. There was new guys like Steve Alva was pro, then his brother Mickey Alva was the new guy, and then Dwayne and Eddie, just new guys. You could not be pro like a pro model. There was no, it was a year or two, you're done. There's new kids. It really changed a lot. So when Hosoi and Lance, all those guys, the 17 pro top, they still stayed through. Caballero was one of them. That all through those years, where nobody could catch them. Yeah. Everybody was Neil Blender, all those guys. They all. I mean, maybe Gons never caught him on vert, but on street, that was a whole new thing when street guys came in.
Right.
But anyways, it's just it amazed me how long they could dominate the competitions.
Well, even Cab
in their 20s, like in their mid 20s.
Even Cab went to street cab.
We'd be on the vert. We'd go, hey, Cab, ride the vert. No, I'm doing street. He was riding rails. It was amazing when he
was killing it.
I got to give it to Cab how he changed.
He fit in with the times.
Yeah, with Powell, he had to. He got to be marketable and be, a lot of street vert guys, they try to do the street.
But it doesn't work, right? Or they try and it's just a guy like Cab. Well, of course.
Bob Burnquist, too.
No, Danny was, because he was young that time. I remember seeing Danny was like 10 or 12 years old doing kickflip varials and tricks out of the reservoir to flat, like a step-up gap at Del Mar. Like, what are you doing? We're over around the pool and, kickflip indies. I have a whole story about that. And it's like you say, but he took him to vert. So
it's just amazing to see. Cab, you're killing it on street.
Cab to this day. I can't believe
dude.
like when we do those comedy pool things. Lance, Cab, Grosso. So what their level? It's almost as good as they were back then. Miller, I think's better now than he was then.
How crazy!
He was really good then. He was really good. Yeah.
Were you guys threatened by these young kids coming up?
Not
skating?
at all.
No,
not at all. It was skateboard was life.
Yeah.
I think it was because Rocco would put in the mag because we rode vert. There's vert and pools where kids in Indiana or Kansas, they don't have that. They just have street. So I get it. When you see a picture of a little freestyle type board and you're olling up curbs and riding curbs and doing little Manny tricks or flip tricks, they're like, cool, this is something I could do at my high school. I used to ride my board, just going full around at the high school in the parking lot and do those. I did a lot of freestyle. So I get it, but it's just not that exciting. I want the rush of charging and going fast. And once you get that, it's kind of hard to go back to tinkering with your board.
Yeah.
Especially when you have a job and a girlfriend, like you just, when you're a teenager, you have a lot of time to tinker.
I'm sure some people.
Excitement.
Yeah.
I'm sure some people were threatened, but it sounds like you had a good grip on the industry. Like you were building ramps for contests. You were traveling.
A lot of pros were gone. They never bridged that gap.
And let me ask you a question too, because I judge a lot now for what's going on. Do you guys judge like just by pen or pencil and paper and just kind of write down
nowadays or back then?
Back then,
they didn't have iPads then.
Back then.
Yeah. So I'm saying it's like
no. It was a pen. It was a spreadsheet, but you would take notes of how many good tricks they did or how many falls they had, and it was kind of always an overall impression of 0 to 100. Most guys, an average run was usually in the 70s.
Yeah.
If you're real good in the 80s, if you want to make the cut, the finals high 80s, and the finals sometimes 90s.
And you kind of just see who's ripping.
Yeah.
Like you kind of.
We always had a qualifier too, and then go to like a semifinal of like 24 dudes or something. So you kind of could get a vibe of we're looking for the top 10. But if you made 24, you might be in there. We might have messed up on your score earlier because you were in the first heat. But, you're good enough to maybe give you a second shot in the semis. And some guys sucked at the beginning. So that would kind of made it weird where you'd have to skate 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
To time it.
But then there was the skaters who were just dominating.
I got to tell you that the most popular guys like Mark Gonzalez and Neil and the artistic guys that really selling graphics, or even Ross Kopp sold so many boards. They didn't do good in contests, but something about the marketability of them, people loved them. Tommy Guerrero, they love the Pal videos when he's alling up curbs and doing that stuff. It's like, oh, I want to be like that. They don't care what play. I guess he won one of the San Francisco street thing. He was good. But it really didn't matter whether you won the contest or not,
Right.
Tony Hawk would win them all, Hosoi would win, and they were obviously popular guys. But when it came to the street, it really didn't. You didn't have to win the contest to sell boards.
It was kind of switching over now.
I remember one of those events I was telling you earlier. Neil Blender, we call his name, and he literally goes out to the middle, takes off his shoes and socks, and soaks his feet in this water gap.
Ohio Skate
Right.
What's that?
Ohio Skate Out.
Ohio Skate Out. Yeah. So it was just funny like that.
Imagine Nigel doing that at a street league now.
Yeah,
Just taking off his shoes.
45 seconds. You got 15 seconds left, Neil. Okay.
Still,
dude. Yeah, and that artistic part of it, though,
Right.
I remember skating at contests with Gons. He used to ride for Alva, so I drive him to contests and stuff. I remember beating him in an event in San Diego. I had like a perfect run doing bonelesses and 50-50s on the horseshoe thing and the picnic bench. And I had a little routine worked out. I was pretty good about that. Gons didn't know what he was doing. They had a tire there. He came out of the corner, first trick, he's a friggin' big truck tire, as big as this table. I could never ollie fucking time. I could ollie up a curb, but not that distance, just on flat.
Right.
And I mean, in my opinion, he should have won. He did a trick that was so beyond, but it really wasn't about one trick. You had to have a routine.
Yeah.
So that's the difference in the 80s, between, kind of now it's more like, you get some rad tricks, you can win, which has changed. I kind of like having the run and the trick together. Like, okay, can you do a run and what kind of tricks you got?
I put it together.
That's the both. Because like Costin and McCrank, those guys were cheap. They could put a run together. Oh my God. Bang, 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 bang. Dresden.
Yeah.
Tim Brosh.
And look like they're having fun doing it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Man, that's amazing.
But that was so gymnastics like, okay, here's your routine. And skateboarding now, especially now with a video camera, you watch a video, guys are doing bangers, but it's always nice to see them do a line where your guy does trick to trick. It's always been, people admire that much.
See your style, see him push.
And then go to fakie and switch it up. And
So now I'm just trying to think of the Alva days, right?
That was so much fun. So much fun.
I'm sure you have like a million stories.
Million stories.
How many leather jackets you own?
I got a couple. It was just, tell you the truth, it was cold as shit in Chicago.
Yeah.
We're like Chicago in February. It was we went for Ohio Skate Out, and we had, I think, 5 or 6 guys at contest, and they brought a couple of vert dudes like Craig and Johnny, a couple of guys that didn't earn the contest, but they just brought them for this team photo.
Yeah.
That's the only time. We were only together for maybe 30 minutes. The only time in the history of
really?
we had, because everyone's in all different parts of the country.
Yeah, that's true.
Danforth from Midwest, Murph was from Jersey, Freddie was Boston, John Thomas was Florida, the Texas guys, Johnny was from Houston, Craig was from Dallas. Hartzell was from Hawaii. Chris Cook was San Francisco.
Wow.
San Diego. TA was Venice. I was San Diego. So we had guys literally Northwest, Southwest, all over
covering the U.S.
We'd get most of them together at events. We'd have 5 or 6 guys there. And I'll tell you that the fun times about that was we used to go like these Houston Shut Up and Skate where they have bands playing, chicks, people drinking beer, really like out like a festival kind of thing, but just skateboarding. So much fun. And then at the end of it all, I know like the PAL dudes are there and they're like, oh, the contest's over tonight. We'll be back to the finals tomorrow. We're going to go to the hotel and, go to a nice dinner before. And, Stacy's taking care of them. We're like, where's the backyard barbecue? Where's the beer kegger? Let's go, Rage. Let's go to the nightclub. And that's what made us a little different. But tell you, Craig would get wasted stable night. He'd go and put a killer run together. Those guys, Johnny, they were always in the cut at all the events. Even though they were kind of party guys, they could put a run together. That's why we had them on our team, because they would make all the cuts.
Who was the biggest partier in Alva?
Oh, God. Besides me? Dude, I want to say TA was when I first met him. He was pretty full because the early 80s, there was no future in it. So those guys were just partying. Yeah.
They were enjoying
it. Santa Monica. Probably Craig, Dallas. I mean, it's the Texans. Yeah, they partied, man. That's why I love going there. It was loose. They would tell me stories. The driver could have an open beer in his lap. Everyone in the car would be wasted. They get pulled by a cop. You're good to go. As long as that driver is not drunk, they won't even make you blow unless you're just really blowing it.
Sure.
And this is in the 80s, so Texas was just a lot looser, like Wild West. Back then.
Right.
So we used to have fun going to those. I don't know if you guys remember those videos of Steve Schneer riding off the ramp onto the plywood.
Oh, yeah.
Doing like corner. Naked hose with like a sock on his cock.
No.
A legit ho-ho where your feet are off, or both hands on the coping and your feet,
I think it's in like Santa Cruz Risket video.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it was.
You guys are just
fun.
Wiling out
Times. Yeah, and they even, the street guys started coming in toward the end of that. The NSA, we had some NSA events. I remember Sean Sheffy, Markovich, some of those new street guys were coming in, which was rad to see. The chain, the handrail thing was starting to come in.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, I guess in the end, guys got threatened by him because eventually we didn't really know that Wirt was going to die, but eventually, it died out.
Yeah.
I mean, between 8th Street videos, when you look at the quality of the movie behind a PAL video versus an 8th Street video, 8th Street was just sketchy and whatever, VHS, filmed by whoever. But it was about the tricks. People didn't care. It was more about the tricks.
Yeah.
And the PAL was like expensive.
Polished.
16 mil cameras or whatever they used, like crazy expensive shit, which was cool. Slow-mo at that ramp. What was it called? The Animal Chin. That was a funny one, the Search of Animal Chin.
Well, it's funny you even got the Thrasher right here with the gravestone, 1943 and 1993.
There you go. Yeah. 93, I guess it all died. Yeah.
That's amazing. They just called it out, put it on the cover.
Skateboarding died. Yeah. If you look at that mag, it was the thinnest it was because the sponsors are pulling out. Like, And that's when I bridged that gap. That's when I went to start to focus with Hosoi in 93, right around that time.
Yeah, yeah.
Hosoi was always marketable. That's right when everyone started making their own companies. Lance went to do the firm. Gons went to do blind from Vision. And then Hosoi had Milk. He had a couple other companies, Skate Hard. And then he started doing Focus, and they needed money. And they flew me to Huntington to build this thing called the Soul Bowl. It's a vert indoor bowl. I spent a couple months there at Chicken's house. And Chicken had a pool in his back. I actually lived at his house for a few years. And it was a dream, man. Let's wake up, have a pool in your backyard, pool table, pinball machine. It was like a country club. So to me, I was living during those times. I was having the best time of my life. You know, it was really, and I'd still do some skate events.
Yeah,
it was still fun. But the vert thing was pretty dead.
It was going on. Yeah,
pretty dead. So I helped Christian run his company for a while. Where's the Black Flag board? There's behind.
Yeah, it's behind.
right here.
We got a deal with Black Flag. They want to make skateboards, and they love Hosoi. So we made. One of those was a couple of them were Andy Roy boards. I don't know. Have you ever had Andy Roy on your show yet?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's great.
So he did. Yeah. I did his podcast too.
He's
the
amazing.
Rip Ride thing. We had fun doing that.
And this was 93-ish?
93 to 96, right when there was the dead time.
Yeah.
So we were a little ahead of our time there. And we got involved with doing snowboards. We had this Japanese, they love Hosoi in Japan. This one, you could make snow. They would send us money, like 10 grand to make snowboard. Make them, send them, they give us the rest of the money. It was an easy deal. Like they would pay to make them.
Yeah.
So we that's what helped the skateboard keep going was through the snowboard stuff.
Yeah.
So, but eventually Hosoi got too high on the crystal meth. Eddie was helping us, but he started a shop downtown. Everybody just kind of was not focused.
Not focused on
We're
focus.
supposed to focus, yeah. And I got sick, dude. I had to pay, all the different, and then Chicken was doing the graphics. So by the time you split the money, it was
just scattered, yeah.
But I had to pay the rent. I had to make sure everybody lived. So it was my money. I was the money guy. I was basically trying to help Eddie and Christian were my best friends in the 80s. We traveled the world, the Alva days, and all over. And I was still going good, 91, 92. I was still going good with the contests. And I was, but they weren't. They were hurting. They were, like I said, it was rough times with the street guys coming in. But I was okay because of ramps and the judging thing. So, and I would build a lot of backyard ramps too. So I make money, not just the contest, but I was busy.
Seems like you were spread thin, but not even, you were enjoying every
minute. I
every.
was healthy and happy. Yeah, I actually started building and designing the Vans parks. That wasn't until 99, but we built and designed all those, the Combi Pool and all that.
You helped design Combi Pool.
Yeah, and all those parks, we did a bunch of them all over. $1 million park. We didn't think they'd last. Like, I can't believe the Combi. It's $1 million. How are you going to make $1 million to pay for kids paying $10 a session, whatever?
Yeah.
It's free now, luckily. But Vans makes so much money that they just write that off. Okay, let's kind of like they have for marketing or advertising.
It's for the culture.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm stoked that they keep it going.
Right.
So if it rains, the Vans park indoors. Cool.
So focus when you're doing this thing from 93 to 96, and it like you said, everybody was just kind of scattered. And everybody kind of it collapsed. I'm assuming it just collapsed.
96, yeah.
96. Oh, you did.
I came back from Europe in 95. Mike V was talking about when they did that boycott thing.
Yeah.
And God, I won this contest. It was a cheer thing. We did it this Munster Bowl, crowd appreciation. They cheered for me to win this thing.
Okay.
I get a ride in Titus's Lamborghini, and I go, can I drive? He goes, sure. I'm driving a Lamborghini. 290 kilometers on the freeway. What's that, like 180 miles an hour, whatever it is?
Yeah.
I'm
Sounds
going
fast.
past cars that are going like 90 miles an hour. It looks like they're parked. Because in Europe, on the Autobahn, you have to get over. If you're not that fast, if you're going slow, you have to. So that fast lane is wide open.
Yeah.
And people just don't pull out like they do here. I mean, you're mocking. So, and I remember they have those little corkscrew turns. And I was going like 60 around these corners. He's like, go for this. And then you go another one. You know how they have those?
Yeah.
And it was, dude, I've never driven a Lamborghini before.
And whose Lamborghini?
It's Titus. The guy who was the biggest distributor in Germany. He's the one that put on the world championships every year. And I would do the ramps for him. So I just remember coming home. Skateboarding was huge over there. Even in the early 90s, I remember that's when we did Focus. I was like, skateboarding's going to come back. Even though it was dead as hell in America, it was still big in Europe.
Still thriving there.
They were behind the times kind of. We were dying, but they hadn't died yet. So I came home with Christian. I'm like, yes, let's do this company. It's going to come back. But then it took a few years. 95, I think, is when the X Games started too.
95.
So that's for me. I was like, okay, I'm going to start doing more of this stuff. And I'm busy. I can make it on my own. So I actually had to claim bankruptcy.
Oh, you did?
I lost like $100,000, I think, from Focus over those 3 years, just because with all that.
Wait a minute, was your name on it?
My name was on the money, yeah. So I mean,
what about the other guys?
So I owned it. They all owned it.
Oh, everybody had ownership.
I didn't have to have them. You can't have 3 people do bank. They didn't need to claim bankruptcy for their bills or whatever.
Gotcha.
They weren't in debt. All the credit cards and things were on my name. Like I was just maxing credit cards left and right, thinking we'd eventually catch up here. Which if we kept going, we might have.
You might have.
But with the soy, everybody just not focusing on it's like,
it's tough.
And then they say, don't do business with your friends. I don't care. These are my friends. I love you guys. But then in the end, it gets weird.
It gets weird.
But now we're friends again, and it's cool, whatever.
Was there falling out after that?
No. It's just like, even Hosoi went on to do other stuff. Everybody just kind of did their own thing. And, like we tried, and it didn't, Yeah, but that's the Big Brother time. I remember talking about that, too. That was some fun time.
When Big Brother came in,
I love that. Yeah. I remember one of those things, they had a thing where you could go to 7-Eleven and buy a Big Gulp, and you put a beer in the Big Gulp and put the lid on it. Yep. Hey, I can't buy this Big Gulp for 99 cents, whatever. You walk outside, you got a tall can
beer.
of beer. Yeah. And it's like, how genius is that? Like,
and they're putting this in the magazines.
In the magazine, and I mean, you think about teenage kids, you gotta love it because it's just like you're a bored kid in the Midwest. You're brought into this whole nother crazy world. Your mom's gotta hate it. We're being a teen skateboarder. You're like the worst.
It's almost a mag that you hide from your parents.
Yeah. Dude, some of them they had to put in covers. They couldn't see the cover. I mean, what's the one with Tim Gavin?
Sugar-coated penis pops.
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
it's amazing.
Yeah.
That's great. Those are good years.
Stuff. Yeah, I love the Big Brother guys.
What year did
it was in the 90s, and then they sold it to
Flint.
93, 94.
They were thinking, okay, cool, now the boobs and all that, but Flint was saying they wanted to make it bigger, and to make it bigger, you couldn't do all the crazy shit. They actually had to tone it down,
right?
And it never survived.
Never worked.
But those guys went on to do all the Jackass and the Deer Dick and all that other stuff, whatever, with MTV. They're
doing all right.
They're doing all right.
Yeah. That was actually just the jumping board for them. That was a springboard for their careers.
But that was a fun time. It was a shitty time of skateboarding, but it was fun. Like, let's have fun. And it was so... We had the Bong Olympics. They had me host every year.
Bong Olympics.
Oh, you were the host.
I was the host every year for Bong Olympics,
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, who would think of that? Now weed's more acceptable, but back then it was kind of the hush-hush, but they had it in the mag. They didn't care.
Yeah. Wow.
On that same note, real quick, let me just say...
Please.
People talk about skateboarding, popularity of skateboarding, and during the 80s, I think, is when The Simpsons came out. Mm-hmm. And they talk about how popular skateboarding was. And if you think about kids that are like, say, 3, 4, 5 years old, watching Simpsons every Sunday night or whatever, Bart Simpson is on a skateboard on that show.
Yeah.
And
in the intro.
And he's a cool kid. He's the little bad, whatever. So it's got to be subliminal that kids in this new generation from the 80s on, skateboarding has now been made cool. And I never thought that
interesting.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's a cool thing that you don't think of. But kids now, like, okay, skateboarders are cool. Bart Simpson, he's a little fuck you kind of punk kid.
Right. Grew up on it.
Yeah. They grew up seeing that. So it's got to have that image of,
everyone.
I want to be a skateboarder. Oh, skateboarders, your daughter, I don't want you dating a skateboarder.
Were you guys getting a lot of chicks back then? A lot of women?
Of course. I didn't have a girlfriend. I mean, I had girlfriends, but it was, hey, sorry, honey, we're going on tour. Like, what can you say? Man?
Right.
I went to Brazil, and one of my trips was at 95. 85. Tony Alva. I heard he's going to Brazil. I'm like, man, I got to go to the factory and get some boards. He's leaving. Let me get some boards. And he's like, Duncan, I got my surfboard. I'm staying for 2 weeks. I'm like, dude, I'm jealous. I want to go. I got some money saved. He goes, go, get a ticket. Let's go. So I'm like, kill it. I got home. I didn't have a freaking passport. He's leaving in 4 days. I drove a Monday morning to LA, get a passport. And they go, okay, you're getting your passport. I get it back. Got to get a visa. Mm-hmm. And I got my birth certificate. It was a souvenir from the hospital. Like, this is not your thing. But luckily, I was born in Long Beach. I had to go to the Hall of Records. It was a night. I pulled it off, dude. I got
in 4 days.
2 days. 2 days. I got a passport and a visa, and they're like, well, where's your ticket? I had them calling and send me this fake ticket that we reserved this is on reserve, it's already paid, whatever, and to fake what I was going to do, and I didn't have a bot yet. But anyways, I pulled it off. So we go to Brazil, and I'm supposed to be there for 2 weeks. I stayed 2 months.
Oh, wow.
2 months in Brazil from 85 to 86, and we left around Thanksgiving.
Must have been having fun.
Christmas comes. I had a pretty steady girlfriend for a couple of years. We're kind of, okay, I wasn't getting married. She wanted to get married. So I had other chicks down there. So it's Thanksgiving. Christmas comes. I'm not coming home. New Year's comes. She's like, honey, what the fuck? Sorry. I'm just, these little Brazilian girls. I'm out there surfing. They're in bikinis with their tattoos on their asses out there in the lineup. And
you're loving it.
Dude, it was just, all the pro skaters took me into their houses. I didn't have to work.
And that's amazing thing about skateboarding.
That was my semi-pro days when I was saying, like, dude, I'm like a pro's living the dream. Why would I go home? I just got to go home and go to work. Here, you can live. I showed you guys that ad. I made like a couple $100. And that lasts for another 3 weeks in Brazil,
How amazing!
You go
is
to
that?
all you can eat churrascaria for like $5. Like, it was dirt cheap back then. You go to the skate park, it was 15 cents to ride the skateboard called?
15 cents.
Here, come ride our skateboards. 15. It was the inflation thing was so crazy back then down there. It was so dirt cheap in the early days of Brazil.
Oh man, you were just
living it.
You didn't want to come home.
Yeah.
I heard.
So that's the girl thing. I probably had 4
yeah.
different. I think I got laid like 4 different times. Almost different chicks. And I'm sorry, hun, we came home, broke up. But yeah, I just sorry.
I had heard a story, and I don't know if this is something. I don't know. I heard a story about you being in Brazil with the soy
in 95,
and calling him out that a kid looked just like him in the crowd.
Oh no, that's Choppy.
Choppy?
No, keep going. This was keep going though. I know there's a couple stories. Keep going.
Okay, well, I just had heard this while I was in Brazil, and that's why I reached out to you, because I heard the story, and I was like, this is the craziest
Okay, what?
thing.
Tell me the rest of the story.
So I had heard that you called someone out that kid looked like the skateboarder.
Okay.
And then it ended up that kid was the kid's father. The skater was the kid's father.
And, you're talking about Hosoi had a kid?
Yeah.
There was a time, I'll tell you this, what I think you might be mistaken, in 96 or 7, when we were doing Focus, that Hosoi went to Japan. It was 95, because he was supposed to do X Games. He missed the first X Games because they wanted him for parole. He got busted for weed or something. He skipped his court date.
Okay.
So you have bounty guys looking, they owed him 20 grand for his bail or whatever.
Yeah.
So they came to an ASR, and they're looking for Hosoi, and he actually came and skated the ramp, and then when they came to bust this guy named Choppy Omega from Burnside, they go, "Are you Hosoi?" And he goes, "Yeah, what do you want?" They arrested Choppy.
Oh, God.
I thought that might be the one you're thinking of, because Choppy used to always claim these weird stories. Yeah, I'm Hosoi. He was like the Hosoi of Love Park. I guess he's the first guy to do Ollie in Love Park, the Gap, whatever, and then Burnside shit, so whatever. And he rode for us back then. But dude, to be honest with you, the Hosoi, I was around him when he found out he had a kid.
Okay.
And people would tell me, "Duncan, you probably got a kid in Brazil somewhere or whatever." And no lie, a couple years later, I found out I have a daughter. She's 10 years now. I've known she's my daughter in Florida one time. Got to go praying. We didn't have cell phones. We never kept in touch. And I guess she had a boyfriend in New York at the time. She was visiting her family for holidays. Went home and told him it was his whole big thing. So I never got in the picture of my daughter. I didn't meet my daughter till she's like 19. She had a kid. She's like, and her boyfriend's like, "You should find your original dad." So she thought I didn't care about her, but I truly did. I just didn't know.
No.
Wow.
So
Wait,
that's
what it was. Okay.
So Hosoi had a kid, and then I've come to find out, I get a phone call,
But so when you found out you had a kid, you had already been a grandfather at this point because she had a kid.
She was pregnant. She was
Oh,
pregnant.
okay.
So I was, she's like, "Hey, I'm gonna have your kid." Luckily,
Yeah.
Now my kid is he just turned 10. This month, January. Yeah, just turned. I just went and visited him. Yeah, awesome. I got a great relationship. She's like
That's
me.
awesome.
Great, loves life. Awesome.
How did that? Were you freaking out when you got that call, or when you found out?
At first, I thought it wasn't real. I'm like, because the guy
DNA.
Was
Let's do DNA
it was her
test,
boyfriend hit
maybe.
me up on Facebook.
Oh.
My girlfriend thinks you're her dad. And I was like, I was actually in the middle of a Tony Hawk tour in Paris, which was this big deal. And I had to go. I'm like, I don't have time for this, and I dealt with it like that night, the next day. And I saw a picture of her, because at first I didn't see it. Once I saw a picture, I'm like, that's my daughter. I could tell by her facial expression and whatever. I'm like, yeah. So then I flew her on a plane. I let her freaking fly her. I was first class on a plane from Seattle. And her mom, who I hadn't seen in forever, I had her coming from Florida. And they were supposed to meet in Denver, get on the same plane, not knowing they're on the same plane, and then meet together in California, and her mom missed the plane. So her mom eventually came a couple hours later or the next day or something. So eventually we had a great little family reunion for Thanksgiving dinner in my house like 10 years ago. It was she hadn't seen her mom in years, so it's kind of like a cool thing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
This is like a Maury Povich show. It's like,
I saw Jesus joke about that, like to Mary and Joseph. Something about Joseph, you're not the father, because she got implanted. Jesus, it's a holiday joke.
It's a holiday.
Yeah, wow.
I want to ask you, because I don't want to breeze over this. In the Alva years and everything, Thrashin came into the picture, and
Daggers.
The Daggers.
Yeah.
What was going on right there? How did you even get in? How did you get involved with that?
Before we go into that, I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
just take you back to the 70s.
Yeah.
When Skateboarder magazine was going. And then it turned into Action Now, which was a weird deal because they had like horseback riding and surfing, weird shit.
A lot of action.
Yeah, because they thought
action.
it was almost like X Games. Let's get a bunch of shit together to survive. They're trying to get skateboarders to survive.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the people were sponsors, were skateboarders, so no skateboarders, so it didn't work. My point was that's when Thrasher came out, and that's why I'm going to mention Thrasher before Thrashin. Because what a great name, Thrasher. You're going to get out there and throw us a punk rock. You're in the pit, you're thrashing and you're skating. I guess Dwayne Peters told him to call it Thrasher.
Okay.
Which is a great thing, the whole skate and destroy attitude. And I remember going to a skate park, San Diego, and seeing this Thrasher. Whoa, there's a magazine again. Skateboarder's gone, because I had a subscription to skateboard all the time. My parents got it for me for Christmas, so I still have them all. But Thrasher really changed the game, man.
Yeah.
It was like you're reading about the Midwest and the East Coast and Texas, and then that's why I read about Texas for a few years and be able to go there and meet these guys and hang in. They would come to Del Mar and skate the park. Craig and John, I'd take them surfing, and we all became buddies, and it was really, really cool. So in that same time, 80s, Thrashin. So they came to Tony Alva. They were making a movie about skate. It was supposed to be like a West Side Story of like gangs, in New York. But it was supposed to be California, where you got the ramp locals, which is almost like the Powell guys, whoever. We're going to ride the ramp and win the contest. And the Daggers are like the guys in the little Venice punk house, all graffiti on the walls, and they didn't care. They're just thrashing around, like a lifestyle type thing more.
What year did you guys start shooting that?
85. 85. Okay. So it came out in 86. And I remember shooting some of the scenes. I was in Venice scene. We did the Chili Peppers. They came to Del Mar. Skate park Del Mar was closed at the time. So for us to be able to skate the park every day was like, wow, with all these dudes. And we got paid $40 a day to be extras on the set. You know? And you see me in the back in a couple of these shots. And so it was fun. It was a really fun time. And they hired TA as a consultant.
Yep.
So they had that kind of Alva 80s look, with all the dreadlocks and the dag and the punk rock.
They wanted to recreate that.
Vest. Well, there's a team called the Jacks, which are out of Seattle and Canada, that have those denim vests like a biker gang.
Yeah.
And so it's called the Jacks, Jaks. And they were the guy who drew Munsky, who drew that dagger, because the gangs in New York was supposed to be like knives and chains, and that's why they did the dagger versus a gun, So that's why the dagger was the name of the daggers, like, kind of street violence.
Yeah.
So he was an art guy for Alva at the time, doing art. They do graffiti stuff and whatever, and that. So he created it. So Alva was an influence on the movie. That's why he did a lot in Venice and that whole hardcore vibe. And I was running the Alva team at the time. Or no, I wasn't on the Alva team yet. No, I was on the team, but I wasn't team manager yet.
Okay.
That came a couple years later. But I remember going to Arkansas. We flew to Dallas, and we went to Arkansas for the first time. The East Coast meets West Coast. Like Race Simpson, I remember Al Midget.
Al Mill, yeah.
Yeah, and like Buck Smith from Florida, and the Texas guys. So it was really cool. Everybody just raging. And I remember the Texas guys, I already know Craig and Johnny from the Del Mar days. They had a Vega or something. Craig had a Vega, and then the back thing popped on with a keg in the trunk. And everybody's like, we're part of the problem because the pros were Sunday, amateurs were Saturday.
Okay.
So we're skating Saturday, raging around, and all of a sudden they go, oh, it's going to rain tomorrow. Pros have to skate now. And these guys are wasted.
Oh.
So Craig Johnson gets on, and he makes the 8 cut. I don't know, which was a tough thing out of 40 dudes or something. Flies high, does like an 8-foot in here, flies off the ramp, comes back in, and I mean, you could not fall on your run and make the cut. But his skating was so wild, and I don't know how he stayed on, being drunk at the time, whatever. And they had videos of those guys the day before. They went to these rock quarries, and there's like a rock face where they did a rock. They start off in a rock and roll, and you ride your board down this rock face into the 20 foot into the water, and they're just showing me this wild, just having a wild time out there. So on the way home, I'd heard about this Kahuna vert ramp, which Neil Blender and John Lucero had been going there, saying, you got to go to Houston. They have the best ramp in the world right now. It's a metal ramp, 10-foot trannies, 2 feet of vert.
Wow. All
of our NSA ramps are 9.5 foot and a half, because Frank Hawk wanted to make them all the same for competition-wise. Yeah. So I was doing errors maybe a foot or two high at Del Mar at the time. I go to Texas. My errors are now like chest high.
Wow.
It was so smooth and perfect. Del Mar was kinky. Every wall was different, and it was smaller, 8-foot, 9-foot trains. This is 10-foot trains. So it just showed you the future of skating. So I remember taking acid with those guys, mushrooms, like just having a wild Texas time. I stayed at Craig's house in Dallas. He goes, yeah, stay in my house. We rode down with Jeff Phillips. And this is when I first met Todd Prince and Troy Chasen and Ken Fillion and all these guys, which ended up being Texas legends, the whole don't mess with Texas helmet thing and all that, So I don't know where I'm going. Oh, so I missed some Thrashin when they were doing the downhill scene. They were filming all that. I'm like, I don't even care about that, dude. I'm out here because this is a chance. I was a traveler. Anytime I get a free trip somewhere, like
you want to go explore.
The bonus. I always do the bonus. Oh, stay a couple extra days or whatever. My snowboard trips. Like, oh, you're gonna do a snowboard. I'm putting my ticket for 2 days after, so I can ride some powder or ride this resort for free. Because I know the marketing dude.
Right.
That's why I've always lived my life. Like, just get there early to build the ramps and stay late.
Right.
Either tear the ramp down or just experience all. So I've always made the most of all my trips, like the Brazil ones. Do 2 weeks, stay 2 months.
Yeah, 2 months.
So the Thrashin thing, that's what I did. But I remember when the movie came out, man, it was crazy to go to the premiere in LA with everyone. And that's right, the Sunset Car Wash thing.
Yeah.
I think it was right across the street from the theater, or some bank was there, dude. But that's crazy. Was it Milton Martinez just got skater of the year for
kickflip.
all that? Gee, that's a big part of skate history in LA.
yeah.
I think
Hell
they got
yeah.
downtown LA stuff. I like that kid Milton. We saw him one time in it was a Latin X Games. I think Lutzka won the whole thing, but it was first time I see Milton Martinez using these nollie big spins and courageous flow and stuff. And I've had my eye on him. That's probably over 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, we did a San Francisco dude tour thing where I remember he ollied in off this streetcar, like whatever they did to start off, and it was the downhill thing where you go over a car and all the gnarly
truck, whatever.
yeah, gnarly downhill San Francisco, and Milton I think was on top 3 in that.
Crazy.
Him, I think. Yeah, so big ups to Milton. I've always loved his style and his stuff.
Oh, he's the best.
To keep going year after year at that level, and not just be just a handrail guy, to be able to kind of do a little of everything. I mean,
Yeah.
anyways, I'm just amazed at what the new kids are doing, and
It's incredible.
it is incredible. It's
mind-blowing.
I love watching all that stuff. I don't know where we're going. It's just
No, when
skateboarding.
when the movie came out, did you even realize
Thrashin, we're talking
when
about
you
Thrashin,
were
okay.
doing the movie before it came out? Did you even realize
think
how?
about it.
Right,
We
you just were like,
whatever,
oh,
but
we're doing
at
this
the
some
time,
bullshit
it was
movie.
Cool. It was a movie. I mean, it was like, dude, we go to Hollywood. At the time, Hosoi, that's when I was friends with Hosoi. We would go to Hollywood. We weren't even 21 yet. And he would get into nightclubs and be like,
Oh, he's a rock star.
big old line. And we walked to the front of the club. You know the door guy, how many with you? 10, 15? Come on in. You guys are up in your own little zone. Like, dude, we were living like
Rock stars, yeah.
Hosoi, just being him, he was a Hollywood dude. So to be in a movie with it, it's like kind of like, okay, we're getting a little taste of that, and it was about skating. But we didn't know until it actually came out how cool it was going to be or whatever. And at the time, it kind of came and went because we were living so fast doing the regular life. Yeah, Thrashin, whatever, was kind of corny, but whatever. Gleam of the Cube came out, new videos are coming out. But I remember about 10 years later, we went to Brazil and we had this Alva dude was like, he wanted us to sign his Alva poster, me and Eddie. And he goes, you guys are Daggers. You're Daggers. And I looked at Eddie, what? We hadn't heard that word in like 10 years. This was like 99, I think, early, late 90s. So we're Daggers. So Eddie went home and got his Dagger board out of his mom's garage and him and his Long Beach dude started doing this Dagger thing. That's how it kind of brought back. So this is all through the 2000 last 20 years. We've kind of just for fun brought back the little Dagger thing.
Yeah, you had a company that you were doing.
I still get people, they call me Dagger Dave, whatever, just 'cause for a while we put Dagger on boards and Dagger stickers on Dagger shirts.
Right. That's funny you didn't even realize it till 10 years after.
Yeah. Well, because you don't want to claim that or be part, it's just, Actually, the whole old school thing was gone. In the early 90s, nobody cared about Tony Hawk. He didn't have a pro mod until X Games in 95.
Right.
Nobody gave it was
pretty much retired at one point.
Yeah. So old school was nothing. And then we were doing these things called the Soul Bowl in Huntington, which I designed this vert bowl. I used to work with these guys doing the snowboard events, and they said, we want to do this event, which is now the U.S. Open with the Vans Parks and lot. They go, we want to do something at the beach for skateboarding. And to me, we had too many street events and too many vert events. This is in the middle of the heyday where it's all, I'm like, you should bring back a bowl. Let's do. So we designed this vert bowl thing. And we're like, let's bring back some legends like Steve Alva and Dwayne Peters and Lance. And they all came out. This was the first time that we started what is now the Masters Division of Legends. That you do with the Combis. It was probably 5 years before we did Combi, the Combi events or whatever. So in the mid 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. So it's kind of cool how, I mean, those guys, they weren't making any money. No one's doing, nobody cared about old school stuff like that. Even the street guys like Markovich, Sheffy, kind of were like, skateboarding moved on. I don't know how, if it slowed down and as it comes back, they kind of reach back on that. But I'm just so stoked now, I guess with all the internet and that stuff, that there is a little nod to, to some of the old school stuff, like guys that can bridge the gap. A lot of fathers are out there teaching their kids or the skateboard going, I used to love Dwayne Peters and he'd do a layback like this. And cool. And kids are doing Burts and people are doing boneless ones now. And, for a while that was not cool, So it's just crazy how it evolves.
No, it's amazing. I mean, you have to give a nod,
Yeah, hand plants. Nobody for a long time did inverts. In the X game, nobody did an invert. Now people are starting to do little tuck me inverts and Andrex and different thing, Whatever. There's that kid, Colin Graham. He does a thing called a colonoscopy. I don't know if you know about it. It's an algarial eggplant.
Okay.
His name's Colin Graham. So Colin, he calls it a colonoscopy. And it's an eggplant algarial, which who would think to do? God, who grabs like that and does like, but he just, so the kids are somehow making up their new tricks, just like on the street, all these crazy combinations of laser flips and dolls and flips and shit. They're like, what the fuck? Really.
Dolphin flips.
Yeah.
But even back then,
just the creativity keeps going. Though.
Right. But even back then, they were making up the tricks.
Yeah. I saw the evolution of all that.
Right.
Really crazy. But the stylish tricks, I remember backside tail slivers. I always played out, but nothing like a better back tail or a smooth grind
so
or
good.
Timeless tricks.
It just looks good. What's that?
It's a timeless tricks, man.
Yeah. The style. it's always good to throw the style things in there. So
Yeah.
But yeah, skateboarding is in a good place right now. And all these parks, I never thought in my wildest dreams I'd see so many skate parks. And once
They're on every corner.
crazy, yeah.
Once
It's
they all
crazy.
closed, someone told me a long time it was like 2,000 in America. I heard there's now like 3,500. Like, what the heck? That's amazing. But they changed the law. I know they went to Sacramento and they made it. I don't know if you guys heard the story about it. It's now a hazardous activity.
Yeah.
That they changed the laws to where you can't sue because there's a crack
Yeah.
in the thing or a rock in the
Yeah,
river.
yeah.
So great.
It's great. Yeah. Thank God, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. And so, I mean, even I'm spoiled. I mean, we don't jump the fences or backyard pools like we used to have to. It was fun, but I mean, those pools are hard to ride. These now are perfect killer parks and bowls, and it's just so fun to roll around these places. Man.
Oh yeah, man.
It's a different time.
Jumping into like backyard pools and stuff. You guys were just going. You'd hear about a pool, you jump.
In the 70s, it was in the magazines, like backyard pools. You see Tony, and they would do these. Craig Stesco, right? The dog tails and it'd be backyard pool stuff, and it just we would in the week ride backyard pools around my house. We'd find them, train them, whatever. But on weekends, we'd go to skate parks.
Yeah, sure.
So
sure.
that was our thing, and we'd ride the streets a little bit too. But then in the 80s, when all the skate park closed, really all we had was backyard pools, or we started doing mini ramps and vert ramps in backyards too. And it just changed everything. Yeah.
Would the owners be there? Would you barge
Oh my God.
it? Would you wait till they went out of town?
I got a
Like,
story for you. I got a
yeah,
story. My,
please.
my dad was a boxing promoter in San Diego, and we drove across this guy named Archie Moore on the freeway 94. You look over and you see a swimming pool shaped like a boxing glove. He's like, "That's Archie Moore's pool." I'm like, "Wow, that's rad." Shaped like a boxing glove, and he's like a world famous boxer, whatever.
Okay.
So years later, my dad passed away. That's a different story. But we go and we see it's drained. I'm like, "Guys, we're gonna go knock on the door here." So we knock on the door of this little side house, and the lady comes out and she goes, "Archie, you mean Archie? Archie's over there in that house, whatever, the main house, whatever."
Okay.
So I knock on the door, and I know his name's Archie Moore. Somehow, because she called him Archie, I was like, "Hey, you Archie? That's Mr. Moore to you, son." I'm like, "Oh God, I'm fucking up already."
Right.
Well, we want to ride your pool, and like, "Well, you want to ride my pool? I guess so, but there's a bunch of carpeting and stuff all around out there. Do me a favor, put all that in the back of my truck, and yeah, okay, you can ride it." So there's all these big old things of rain-soaked carpet. It's rain, moldy, big, heavy. It's fucking pain. It took us like an hour.
He made you do
So
chores before you.
No, he thought we wanted to ride around the pool on the deck. We get in the pool, we start drinking. He's, "What are you guys doing? We're gonna ride your pool." "What? You ride in there?" What? And he loved us.
Oh, yeah.
We kept coming back for weeks at a time. He would take pictures. "Look at these guys are ripping my pool." I have a photo in Thrashin. It's called Something Else. It's got Archie's Club or something, like a big sign for the nightclub is on the side, and it shows me grinding, whatever. And I was in Something Else, Archie Moore's pool. So he asking me, I was always the guy because I kind of have a personality of, "Can we skate your pool? Whatever, we'll clean it, whatever." And we'd always knock on the door first. And if they're not home, then we should buy and barge. I've been busted by cops so many times where we would scatter. Somebody go that way, somebody go that way. So hopefully, not everyone's getting busted.
Right.
They're like, "If the back door's open, you guys are busted for breaking and entering." We didn't even go in the house. We're just skating the pool. It was crazy. Guns pulled on us. "Stop right there, freeze." I had to write an article in School of Why Don't Run from the Cops, because you hear stories now, seriously, of like, I was 15 at the time.
Sure.
whatever, so.
Yeah.
But back then they didn't have the helicopters
Yeah.
flying in and chases and
Right,
stuff like
right,
that.
right.
like they were just, like you said, you guys would scatter.
Yeah. We had this one pool called the Frog Bowl because there was all these dead frogs in the bottom.
Okay.
And so we were like the Frog Bowl, and there was like, Tony always called Mad Dog, and then my buddy was a kind of a fat. We called him the Pig Frog because they had these pigs or whatever. So we were kind of had a joke of this Frogtown thing back in the 70s. We were Frogtown compared to the Dogtown.
Dogtown. Wow.
Yeah, and then San Francisco had Fogtown. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Wow, it's interesting. Would other people kind of maybe sometimes go in the pools and blow it for you guys?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just-
Once it became, that's why you always had to keep it hush.
Yeah.
Don't
Don't
tell
tell
everybody.
anybody,
And then,
right.
and then after a while it gets blown out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit happens, And there's a place like the Nude Bowl that kept going forever. It's called Cold the Nudist Colony back in the day. We'd have bands playing out there. Those are fun times. And Nude Bowl actually is pretty rideable because it's kind of a wide open kidney. So some of them are really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a pool in San Juan called the Alva Bowl. They did an article in Thrasher about it. It was a perfect double round. You could do figure 8 cars at deep, and it was just it was a good.
Oh,
good
man.
round.
I bet when you
Back
found that one pool,
Yeah.
that was just amazing. Like,
yeah, it's nice.
the best.
It's filled with water. fill the top and you suck on a hose. I remember sucking on the hose that one, and you have to come back a couple days later and drain. And you're just, dude, it's just amazing. Getting there, clean it, going, I can't wait to ride this thing.
Imagine waiting days.
Yeah.
And cleaning it and draining it.
You would literally like drop a hose in there.
Yeah,
suck on the hose.
Yeah, well, this one had a downhill where you can siphon it.
Yes.
Yeah. This hose is this big, so like a regular pump
days.
hose is much bigger,
you just put like.
So it'll take a lot longer. But you're sneaking in too. You don't want to have pumps going in. There's no where do you get power for a pump if no one lived at the house.
Right.
This one we had, so it just lurked out. But
could you imagine those days?
No, it was real renegade. Kind of like now how guys with street, they take lights out and they do the bondo for the lip where the rail is. It's the same kind of thing.
Right,
you kind of modify the spot to make it work.
Yeah, maybe they'd go the night before.
But it's not made for skating. That's what I love about the street stuff. Like you see Dewan Song part or something where he's just riding all this fucked up shit, doing these guys on roofs or something like that. It's on a fucking roof, whatever, like roof gaps. And how rad are skateboarders though that they're amazing. That wide open to just
finding shit, creating shit.
Really, you can't do the same shit that everyone else does. Let's find something new, and they still do year after year. Like I don't know if it's time to get to the mega ramp.
Go ahead, please. I mean,
thinking about that. we talk about Danny Way doing street. I remember we did that backside ollie 360 at the San Diego Stadium sports
triple set. Yeah.
That's that D Way. Just fucking gnarly vert dude. He could do anything. And I remember doing the kickflip indie. I don't know if you guys know the story about how he invented the kickflip indie to vert. He did it at the Visalia skate camp on the pyramid on the street. He would do a kickflip indie where he grabbed on a pyramid. And then he's like, one day I'm going to do it on a vert. Well, eventually he did it on a vert, and it took him like 50 tries. And everyone's like, yeah, Danny, that's cool that you did a kickflip indie on vert, but it took you're never going to do that in a contest. And then years later, you see, I think I saw Ben Pappas beat Tony Hawk with 5 flip tricks in one run in San Diego, like one of those B3 things, which is like an X Games kind of deal. In San Diego, and I'm like, fuck, 5 flip tricks. I mean, Vero kickflip,
and it took Danny Way just that one,
to break open a whole new thing. So now that thing's gone, and all of a sudden, I remember we were doing launch ramp gaps. People are starting to do like Guinness World Records. I know Brian Patch had a centerfold of Big Bro one time, jumping an ice cream truck, and I made this ramp for him. Then he got towed in at the Hurley thing with a motorcycle, trying to do that. Then we did one at Havasu, where Andy McDonald won it, and it was like a World Cup thing, and he beat Danny Way, I think, going like 40 or 50 feet, and Danny's like, it's not over yet. So that's when Danny went and did his DC part of this big gap in the quarter pipe and all that, and I remember he did a 540 to fakie, landed backwards, and a bunch of snowboarders were just like, I'm quitting snowboard. Like, I can't. This guy's doing on a skateboard, and it blew away not just skaters but snowboarders.
It affected snowboarding.
Yeah, because I do a lot of snowboard stuff too, and it's just huge how him and Bob, I still see year after year we do these mega ramp things with the X Games and Bob's backyard. We do events and just
Well, you've witnessed the evolution and the come up of it, firsthand.
Imagine he rode that board back there behind you, Chris, and now the mega ramp is going on.
Yeah. No, exactly. But the thing was I just got on a skateboard to just see, where it would take me or what kind of ventures you could have, whether it's to my next town or to the beach or next town over or next country. And who thought that would brought all of us here in this room together,
That's true.
For all the stories that we all share and all the guys across the world, like what history has gone down out there. All just for the love of just cruising down the street. When you first skate, you're just, this feels cool.
Right.
And you're just kind of pushing what you could possibly do. And everyone's got their own style and their own way they like to ride. And it's all comes from the same 4 wheels. That's why we're all a brotherhood no matter what. I call it like the International Brotherhood that way because, I skated Japan with this guy. Killer bowl session. This guy's ripping. At the end of it all, we didn't say a word. At the end, he goes, I like our lifestyle. That's all he said in English. Only English words he knew. I'm like, cool, right on, bro. Cool, right on. It's weird. You can go to another country and not be able to speak to a guy, but have a good time and be like, have a beer. Like, we're brothers now. Cool. Come stay in my house. I got you.
Guys, you're on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You got a great outlook on life, bro. You know what I mean? Like always happy, stoked. I mean,
I think it's skateboarding. I really do, man. I think somehow it keeps you young.
Yeah. Right.
My father passed when I was younger. I had a good outlook before he passed, but
how
he
old
was
were you?
36. He died in a doc's office. He goes, Doc, 36. I don't feel good. Yeah, and he just laid down and his heart. They say his heart went out. Jeez. And I remember it was my first skate contest. He actually told, go skate this contest. Whenever I come home, I got third place. I was ready to share with him that I got this thing, and he was gone. It was really that was a heartbreaking thing about it. But it took a few days. I saw him in the casket, and I saw his face because for a while I kept thinking it was going to come through the door any minute. Like I couldn't believe it.
Real.
It was hard to. Once I saw him, then I'm like, okay, this is for real.
Yeah.
And I realized if I want anything in life, I got to get it. My mom didn't have money. If I want a job, I want a car, I got to go get it myself. So I started. I've always been a worker and doing jobs and shit. So I think, just by finding skating, I was just stoked. Like I would skate to school every day on my board. This is when you're thing wheels later.
Yeah.
And I remember the counselor, what are you going to do with your life? I'm like, I don't know. I got a t-shirt, shorts, and my skateboard, and I really don't know. but I would go by these guys building construction. They were out there with their pickup truck, the doors open, the stereo's blasting. They got no shirt on. They're up there with saws and hammers and shit.
You like that?
And I'm like,
Here's the no shirt part.
Yeah, that I think, and it's, I'm like, whoa. So I was doing, my buddies had busboy jobs. So I got job dishwashing, busboy restaurants, shit. Making $2.20 an hour, $2.40 an hour back in the 70s. They're like, oh, you do construction, you get like $4 or $5. And I'm like, oh, that's double the money. Fuck. So I started doing that. And then
double
it just
the work,
seemed like,
too.
yeah, well, once you learn, where I am a kid,
But you
I
can
got
go
energy
shirtless.
for days. Yeah. No, so it just, somehow I've been blessed to have the energy that the hype that I had to put on skate. I've always been kind of hyper, so do that and the work. I don't mind work. You get that money. You're free now. You go do the job. Okay, a job's done. You got money. What are you gonna do? So it's always been it's not like you're locked in. Same job for 10 years, 48-hour week. It's kind of job to job. You do it for a few months or a few, you're free to, okay, what's the next best offer I can take? You're always kind of bettering yourself.
Sure. Yeah.
Is that construction jobs you took when you were younger that kind of led you into building ramps?
Yes, exactly. Well, I built ramps. I mean, I before I even had a construction job, I built skateboards in my wood shop. I remember Paul Schmidt and some of you guys are talking about building. We all built boards, kind of like those. In
That was the thing back then. The boards weren't sufficient enough. You guys would build your own.
So I loved the craftsmanship, wood stuff, and I think just driving by that construction site, and making money. I mean, you all have to make money somehow. So I lived on my own. I was 17. These guys owned an apartment complex I worked for. And they go, can you live at this place and kind of be our manager for us? And I was like 17. I lived on my own. I was 17. I go to high school.
Wow.
So my friends go, hey, Dave, where are you going to party? And they're like, this is Dave Duncan, manager of Laurel Street Apartments. Like, I got an answer machine, which nobody had. I'm in high school. I'm balling up. Chicks over my house. I have a beard. I buy some beer with my Captain Crunch and my milk. Whatever. They didn't really care back then. So I was kind of rolling back in the, in the 80s, early 80s. It was a fun time. They weren't as strict as they are now. So.
Sure. Yeah.
So, and that was all skateboarding through the ups and downs of it all. But I had no idea that skateboarding was going to come back in such a big way. But I just thought you can't skate in your 30s or 40s, 50s. You're going to be married with kids and, just what normal people do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I got to skate my ass off while I'm a teenager. Or in this case, before my dad passed, we would watch TV every day, watch the news every night, and Vietnam was on TV every night. And you see these guys come back with no arms, no legs from the war.
Yeah.
And I'm getting ready to get, you have to go to get drafted. You have to, everyone. And you don't know if they're going to pick your number or not. And I was just thinking, that could be me when I'm 18. I might not have legs. I might not be able to skate. Like, fuck. It kind of freaked me out.
Yeah.
To where it made me happy. And that's kind of one of the joys of like, dude, you wake up, you got your arms, your legs, and it's a beautiful day. Like, be thankful.
Enjoy it.
Yeah. Don't be worried about the stupid little things of life that are going to drag you down or whatever. Girl problems, work problems,
Yeah, we all go through it. But, at the end of the day.
It's all ups and downs of life. But in the end of the day, you got to be thankful. Like, and we've seen like the John Cardiel stories and people like in our industry or passed away or had a rough life. And, like right now, I got broken. Yeah, fuck. It kind of sucks, but, I'll be all right. I'll get through it.
Sure.
Yeah. So I guess I needed a break. I worked a lot last couple of years, so I guess I need a little, God gave me a vacation. I probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you.
But you're getting back to work, though.
Yeah,
you're going to do some more contests
I'm going to Estonia
and stuff?
a couple weeks.
Estonia?
Yeah.
Sick.
Another World Cup event. We haven't even started talking about World Cup.
I know. We'll get into that, man.
So my first trip to Europe, that 87, was a Thrasher trip. Mofo came down to interview Gator. And Gator called, hey, Duncan, we need pools. He knows I have pools. We're friends. I'm like, yeah, I'll take some pools. Gator's talking about the moon, the stars, the planets in alignment. I'm like, dude, you're crazy. Gator's just a wild dude. So somehow through this conversation, Mofo starts digging on me. He knew me. I knew Fausto. He'd give me indie trucks, and I've been to San Francisco Thrasher before. And he's like, hey, we're doing Thrasher. You know I was a friend of Hosoi. He goes, we're going to get Hosoi, Gator, Gons, Roscoff, Caballero, Noho. We all are going on this Thrasher tour for Europe. Start in Paris, go down to Spain, go down to Rome, Italy, and end up in Amsterdam with suicidal tendencies. I'm like, wow, what a trip, a month in Europe. So I went for broke. I took all the money out of my account. My car radiator blew up on me, whatever. I'm literally on the plane. I'm out of there. So we go to Europe, and a month in Europe, 2 weeks into it, I break my ankle.
Oh, no.
So I'm hobbling around Europe, whatever. But here again, that's the thing. I came home. That's why my pro model was out. So I'm like, wow, here's my dream life, pro model Alva, and I can't even skate.
So this is around 87, 88.
Yeah. So I've been to Europe 90 times from skateboarding.
Wow.
3 times a year for 30 years. 87 times 3 is 30 years.
Crazy.
At least 3 times a year. Every year I go to Estonia in February, I go to Prague in June, July, and then I go to Spain in August. And then every once in a while we throw in different ones in there. We've done Germany and all kinds of different places.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Dude, and my point is, the first time I had to spend my own money, and I told Alva, send me some boards, we'll work it out. I paid half, they paid half. And I was motivated enough to kind of make it happen, but that's what got me. I think with the whole work thing of being motivated to be happy,
Right.
to work, and to live it up like, this is a chance of life. Everyone thinks they're going to go to Europe once in your life.
Yeah.
Especially back then, we'd have like Danny Wayne, all these guys would come. Everyone's going to Europe, like, oh, if you were in Europe, you were a made pro. Like, good, you're going to Europe this year. I'm going to, I'll see you in Europe, and everyone got along good then too. I remember the San Francisco, the world guys were fighting with the Plan B dude. Everyone's kind of like whatever. It was vibing each other. Over in Europe, everyone's cool. Like, oh, you're here, you're cool. It was a completely different.
Crazy.
Really change it because you're we're in Europe. So
Yeah.
anyways, it's just interesting to see how what we do in Southern California affects the whole world. They want to see that show. They want to meet the pros. Right. They want to see it live, see the tricks that they see in videos.
Oh, yeah. It's huge out
So
there.
we're blessed that way that I happen to grow up here and be part of this thing and, knock on wood.
Yeah, man.
So cheers.
Years and years to come,
I
dude.
finally made the 9 Club. I guess I
Hey.
see those guys in Street League when they get the 9. Like, 9 Club. Cool.
Yeah.
In the nightclub of life.
Anyway, it's nice to share these stories with you viewers out
course,
there.
yeah.
Whoever's out there, hello, whatever country you're from or wherever you're from, love skateboarding. Much love to you guys.
Man,
Yeah, enjoy it.
You've done a lot, dude.
What's the
enjoy
craziest
it.
moment ever?
Craziest moment?
Oh, wow.
You've lived life.
Oh, man.
What's the most fucked up thing you've seen or
Well,
experienced?
fucked up thing I did to myself, I was telling him earlier, I was at the Vans Park where Lee Ralph came to town. I love Lee Ralph from New Zealand. He's like, yeah, let's go. We're going to go skate the Combi. And on the way, we were going to ride the vert ramp. So I go to ride the vert, and I did this 50-50, just charging up to do another trick, and I got so amped, I slid out or something, and I got overturned, and I came in kind of backwards, and my ankle hit kind of sideways, and I did the tip fib. My foot was basically the wrong way. So it's 7 months. It looked like someone took a sledgehammer and just shattered my ankle. It's just above the ankle. 7 months. I had this external fixation, like those things they put on your head, like a halo.
Yeah.
7 months I had that thing. And I was supposed to announce a Vans Triple Crown snowboarding thing we were doing. I called Steve Van Doren. We were open to Vans Park. He showed me, I'm at the Vans Park in wheelchair like two weeks after it happened. And I'm just all messed up. And everybody felt so bad for him. Like, dude, I'm a solid guy and I'm just down and out hard. So I told Steve, I can't do this, whatever. He goes, don't worry, we'll make it happen. We'll get you a snowmobile. We'll bring you from the lodge up to the lift. And we'll have girls bring you soup and cocoa and you'll be fine. And I swear to God, I did it. Steve Van Doren is that rad of a dude that he took care. I did all these snow events. I had those crutches with little spikes on them where for the snow.
Oh, seriously?
I actually pulled it off, and I needed to make money. I'm like down, and I couldn't make money for 7 months, so it's kind of cool. I got to, and I was designing in advance, so I was drawing, making money doing that. So I survived. So it was a fucked up thing. But on that note, I got on that same note. Right around that time, I built the first Vans Park, the Combi Pool, whatever, and it was such a nightmare because we had 2 months to do it, and they had all this heating and air conditioning, all this shit that they made me wait till the end to put it together. And like, okay, you got 2 days. I'm like, dude, I need a week to finish this. Well, no, because they had all this shit in my way. They didn't tell me this in the beginning, so I had to hire all my fucked up friends to pull it off. No, seriously, and we pulled it off, but fuck, everyone's doing all-nighters. They're passing on the ramps. Like, we just were a mess. So the head dude tried to push me aside and bring in this guy named Rob, who eventually passed away. So they hired me back as a draftsman architect. Okay. I got paid 50 cents a square foot to design. So I was getting checks for like $5 or $10 grand to just do the drawings of here's your vert ramp, here's your street, here's your ledges, your rails.
Were you specking them out?
Yeah, and that's just with my broken ankle. I'm sitting there making good money enough to lift a hammer. So I had these other guys build on them. So it was in a way I've never been fired from a job in my life. But this random construction supervisor dude just thought this other guy talked him into, oh, Dave's busy with X Games. That's what he told Steve Van Doren. Dave, why aren't you doing it? Oh, they say you're too busy with X Games. I'm like, no, dude, I'd love to do them. So they hired me back.
Okay.
So, but it's a blessing. My point is, if you get fired from a job, whatever, keep your head up. Because one door closes, there's another. And like I said, I got paid double. I came back, got paid more. And I could be dead if I worked my ass off with my saws and hammers trying to pull off all these deadlines, all this bullshit they put me through.
Yeah. Well, even if you don't get fired, you're not looking for that other door to open.
Yeah.
You're just caught in the same
Yeah.
job that you're
Yeah.
going to do for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
So it's almost like you said, it's almost a blessing.
The point you're saying of what's the most fucked up thing, you kind of have to take a fucked up thing and flip it around and make. They say, if life gives you lemonade, you're supposed to find some of the bottle of vodka and have a hell of a party.
I thought you were going to say a different saying, but yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's the extended version of it.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I mean, I got, I don't know. I've just been.
I feel like you've lived your life just kind of on a, take it as it comes,
Follow my heart.
a hard worker though.
Yeah, I've been
you
blessed
know?
with being. Dude, when I was 12, I was a paper boy, and I used to pull weeds and watch. I would do anything to make a
Right.
buck.
Well, we had this conversation the other day, kind of, but like I feel like you live in the moment all the time.
All the time. You have to live each day the moment. Yeah, dude, I would pull weeds for 50 cents, and I'd take that 25 cents and go down to the pool and just swim in the pool, and just to be the public pool, whatever.
Yeah.
Because I'm so hot from working outside for 4 hours, whatever. Like, you make your money, you spend it, you'll go make some more another time, whatever.
Living in the moment's very key. A lot of people
Yeah.
look forward and they don't really live in the moment that they have.
Yeah, I all I say is just follow your heart, man. And I've been blessed because I've been able to mix my different passions. I remember skating. I used to skate in the airports all the time before 9/11. I remember skating up to this bench where people were sitting. I just sat next to them. And they looked at me and go, you look like you've came a long way on that thing. Yeah, I had dreads, and I was just probably, straight and rugged looking. I'm like, yeah, I have kind of come a long way.
Right. Yeah.
Because I have millions of freaking flights, like 1,600,000 miles I've flown on United. Like like I said, been around the world tons of times, like 10 times in Brazil, Australia, Japan, whatever, China, Canada. But my point is that you follow your heart and be able to mix your passion with something you love, and they look at me as just how's this guy on a plane, traveling, we're almost like a millionaire that, you kind of, but it's not about the money of a meal. It's a lifestyle of it, of like, there's more life than money, but if you can make your dreams happen, we all need money to make things happen, but there's certain dreams and experience out there that are worth $1 million,
That's
they're worth,
Yeah, more than money.
Yeah.
Sure.
Good friends, good times. And like, I want to talk about Marseille for a minute, because we rode Marseille, this kind of snake run place, back when it came out in the 90s. And they hired us back to these Quicksilver Bull Rider things. Wade Spire won the first one. Omar used to be there. Cardio did the big gap with his broken board and all that. And one of those years, they'd fly me over every year to announce. It was my 40th birthday, and they had these lifeguard chairs where you're really high up so you can see everything with the judges. And I'm sitting up to get ready for the finals. The crowd is packed, and they stop everything and sing me happy birthday and bring me this big old cake. I'm like, fuck, are you kidding? Dude, my 40th birthday, I'm 57 now, so 17 years ago. I'm like, you're going to fly me to France to ride this. And at midnight, we're riding this place all drunk with our friends, having a blast. And in the day, I love skating. I still skate the place now, but to just be, here's all my friends, and here's getting free beers. After all, you get to your apartment, and everyone's got a case of Foster's or whatever. They're like, dude, it's just party time. Quicksilver used to really do it right.
It's amazing.
So, it's things like that, like, what a blessing, But just because I followed my heart and I'm willing to work hard, the payoff is so big sometimes. Like,
It meant a lot to you.
it's like the Japan thing. Oh, you're going to fly me around with my friend? Now all of a sudden I'm in Marseille with all my friends, like riding a concrete snake run versus a street course over ramp.
Right.
So, yeah, a lot of good times.
Did you blow out some candles?
Crazy
Make a
times.
wish?
Yeah, I think I did.
Okay.
Made it
Probably
happen,
came
yeah.
true.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, exactly. So I just tell everybody, dream big, dream, live for your dreams, because you don't know, whatever.
Well, some people are scared to,
Dude,
go after
the
their
Mark
dreams.
Gonzalez thing, when he was a kid, he was like dyslexic or whatever. He was in school. He didn't get, people probably thought he was something wrong with him, something messed up. But look at him now. Guy's a multi-millionaire artist, dude, traveling the world, and he's a unique character, but he loves skating. Still one of my favorite guys to ever ride a board, but he just did what he loved doing, and those crazy little cartoon. I love his art. And that's for kids. How marketable is that stuff? The thing he's done with Crooked and the guest model. Oh my God, how genius was that?
Yeah.
Everybody does guest models now. I got a guest model with the Embassy. Thanks to them, I became friends with the Texas guys. Embassy used to be Zorlak back in the day. John Gibson, me and him are buddies from the Alva team. He started this guy Lee, and they're doing Embassy now. And they just love skating. They want to keep Texas on the map for skating. They sponsor different guys all over, and I'm thankful that they've put my boards out for a while. And big shout out to Lee and the boys out there. It's cool. The guest model is kind of cool. A lot of guys get them. I mean, I saw a few hundred here and there. People want them for their wall, or the old school guys want to ride them, and it's kind of has its little place.
It's amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
Here's a weird question, but I may already know the answer to it, but I think it could be interesting. If there was an era or maybe a date you can go back to and stay there,
The 80s.
that's what I thought. Yeah.
The 80s. Well, it was so
100%.
new then. It was
Yeah.
so new. Like I say, like we're saying, the money. We ride the Conus, there wasn't a lot of money in it, and for me to just be able to be pro with those guys, I mean, dude, I'm on the ramp next to Tony Hawk and
crazy.
whatever,
Yeah.
what a dream. I know I was not as good at, no one's good at, there's 70 or 80 pros, but those guys were still the ones, but we're all there kind of there's enough piece of the pie for everyone to kind of sell boards and make enough money, and every little shop had to have somebody come do the demo, like Tony Hawk can't be everywhere, so we kind of filled in the little blanks there, and that's where it was just in the pools, because that's before you didn't have parks,
Right.
so the pool thing was so epic.
Back in the 80s, like you were saying earlier, like Powell was like the polished, like super team, whatever, and Alva was kind of like the punk team. Like, were you guys friends though?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
McGill, Hawk, Lance, yeah, everybody was friends. There was no, they were doing their thing. I mean,
They'd go back to the hotel and you guys would go party.
Clown them that hard. I mean, we weren't. I mean, they're the Powell dudes. Those guys deserved it. They deserved to make this big, beautiful 16mm movie.
Right.
And or Chin. That's them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's part of skating. It just is what we were naturally. We were keeping it real. This is who we are. We're not trying to fake anybody. We're just dudes with dreads skating, being real.
Yeah.
We're not trying to be pole. We're this good. Those guys really ripped. They were good skaters. Every one of our guys was amazing in their own way.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, you guys have some looks, you're marketable. It's like, no, all those guys worked for a lot of years to get the level. We all kind of came together as brothers in a way at the events. Like me and Chris Cook, one of the uplandings, I remember we weren't riding for Alva at the same time. We're like, hey, you need a partner for doubles? Yeah, partner. With me and him, he did this aerial axle stall over me. He's supposed to land the Kobe. I'm carting, he landed on me. Oh, shit in there, whatever. We high five, hey, right on, man. Cool. And then a couple years later on Alva together, yeah, remember a Combi? Yeah, cool.
Right.
Okay, cool. Like it's just some of those guys you vibe with.
Yeah.
Then he was one of the gnarliest guys from San Francisco as far as, he could rip vert, rip street. Like he was a gnarly dude.
Yeah.
Which part of the 80s?
Oh, so actually, Cooksey was in Thrashin too. Cooksey was in Thrashin.
Oh,
He
yeah?
did a lot of double parts for that guy, Josh Brolin or whatever.
Yeah, Josh
Cooksey
Brolin.
did a lot of like flying over the car and some other shit. Yeah. Losey did some of the parts. That's Mountain. Some of the vert when he was doing McTwists and Hamp, like real good shit. But I think all three of those guys were doubles. Anyways, what were you saying about Thrashin?
The part of the 80s that you would stay in was like before you turned pro or after you turned pro when you're team manager and everything?
All those. I don't know. It's just
interesting.
I remember going to Hawaii. I went to Brazil and just had time of life. Brazil, surfing, skating, like just living the dream of a pro. But it wasn't really big contests or anything then to where you were like a pro like you are now, like X Games or Street League.
Sure.
It was just around around the whatever smaller events or sessions, I guess you should say.
Okay.
So I came back from Brazil and Hosoi's like, hey, I'm going to Hawaii. Let's go to Hawaii. I'm like, dude, I've already been to Brazil. I need to go to Hawaii. Okay, let's go. Hosoi's 15. When I get a rental car. And he's like, I'm driving. Get over. I'm driving. So Hosoi's just driving my rental car all over Hawaii. We're just screaming like, now that's a rock star. So like
Yeah.
Dude, to live in those days, to be the coattails of Hosoi. Like,
And this was what year? How old?
86.
86.
Oh
Okay.
I turned 27. So
Christian's
Hosoi,
15.
yeah. Christian's 15. And all the locals loved him because his family has Hosoi mortuary. They're literally Japanese, Hawaiian, whatever. And all the locals, Hosoi. So he'd come to the ramps, he'd blast over everybody's heads, and then go to the nightclub, same thing, just raging time. So
Crazy.
to be able to go, and I've been back to the Wallows Ditch and all those crazy ditches and back there pools, and to go live all that, and just be kind of in his shadow. I mean, I gotta say, he would take us like to Hollywood, or whatever, and take like 10, 15 people out to sushi, be like $300. I got it, don't worry, guys. I remember stories of him. I wasn't on this one, but he bought everyone leather jackets. All these guys on the so wheel teams, $100 a piece, 10 guys, leather jackets
Europe
put
trip?
on me. What's that?
That Europe trip?
I don't know. I wasn't on it, but just I heard different stories. And I don't know if you guys remember the earthquake in North LA. What's it?
Northridge?
Northridge.
Yeah.
God, we skated a lot of pools in that. The freeway collapsed and squashed his storage unit. He lost all
seriously?
his leather jackets. All gone. I don't think he had insurance or nothing. He's like, there goes all this shit was in storage up there. Yeah.
If they did it out, they'd probably still be okay.
But those pools, I remember riding up there because they were going to tear them all down anyways. Apartment complex, but there was pools galore up there. And I remember that's one, when you talk about fucked up shit, can we say that word?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That's when like one's man trash another's treasure, whatever. Like just imagine your house is done, you're fucked, but that pool, that's now going to be
your treasure.
bulldozed. That's we're looking, we're looking at somebody else's junk is now our paradise. You know?
Someone's fucked up situation is now
Yeah,
like your paradise.
yeah. So
Right,
it's
right.
been a fucked up situation. You just gotta look at the positive side, I
flip
guess.
it.
You know.
Yeah. Well, positive for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I have a question. Looking at that post over there, which is amazing. Like, what's up with the dreads, dude? Everyone had dreads?
I'll tell you, I used to hang out with Steve Stedham.
Okay.
He's a black guy. I was in a band. I sing the band. We did Bad Brains covers. I remember seeing Valeli talking about his bands early on. And just bored 80s guys, like, you know, hey. So he loved to play drums and keyboard stuff. And we had another guy, the Uncle Wiggly guy, played guitar. And he loved Bad Brains. So I learned all the Bad Brains, the lyrics and whatever. We did a band called PMA. And he had dreads, and Tony Alva had dreads. And I just thought, if I grew my hair long, it was just bushy, like 80s, kind of like Poison or whatever you want to call them, like Motley Crue, those dudes. 80s rocker shit.
Yeah.
But the punk thing was coming in. I thought, what more of a punk way? Because everyone could just shave their head. I'm a punk now. Or, you know, put on a black flag shirt and, you know, leather jacket. I'm a punk. You know, you could just mohawk immediately. But dreads, you had to go
White kid
for
with
dreads. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'd go to the Midwest. People never seen it. A white kid. What is this? Wow, cool. Chicks loved them.
Oh, wow.
That was one of the main.
I could have just cut my hair and been like some GQ guy, you know, like Eddie is in the poster or whatever. And just but probably got a lot of chicks that way too.
Good looking dude back then.
But it was just my way of just going, hey, I'm a skate punk. I'm a skate. And I think everyone kind of felt that. Somehow it became a skate fashion, not like unspoken though, because we'd all had dreads for a few years before then. Everyone's in their own little town, just like we're gonna do, and it was really bizarre when you look like, holy fuck, everyone's got dreads.
Well, there's only 4 people in the photo without dreads.
Yeah. All right, that's our trivia question for the day. Who can name the 4 people in the album poster?
Yeah, right.
Dreads? You guys tweet us on that one or whatever. Send it to the Instagram. First person.
TikTok us.
Leave a comment below.
Yeah.
It's amazing, dude.
Exactly. So it just happened, man. Oh, John Thomas, look at the kid in front of me. He used to stay in my house. This is a great one. They flew him from Florida to work on his pro model. He had no job, no nothing, and he stayed in my house. I'm like, dude, you got to get a job, something. You're just stuck in my house. So I was team manager. So I got him a job doing construction. He was a Misfits guy. They had the devil lock in the front. You remember Misfits? Yep. The devil lock. So he's like, I want dreads. He's got full dreads right there. His first 4 or 5 dreads, I twisted him from his little devil. He had 4 or 5 little
in the front,
dreadlocks in the front. It's like the rest of his head was short. So I just sat there and kind of braided and nodded his gave him little dreads.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And JT, love that guy. He's in Hawaii these days.
Do you keep in contact
I was
with
gonna ask.
I do. Yeah, through Facebook. I love Facebook and Instagram. It's one
Facebook's
of those things.
great for, you know, once you get into a bigger scale of like fans
For me,
and
yeah,
people
for
who
me, they do.
who don't know,
Yeah.
like I don't know any of these people on my Facebook,
Yeah.
but for situations
yeah.
like this where you keep in
People
contact,
leave me comments and stuff, and I'll be like,
great.
cool, and I'll go look at their thing. Oh, this guy's cool. I'll be friends with him, whatever.
yeah,
Like, you
for
know,
sure,
it's kind of, if you're a
for
fan of
sure.
me, cool. I'll you know.
But to keep up
get
with
back on.
everybody, it's amazing.
Yeah, well,
It's
I look
amazing.
at people, if they're just putting pictures of their babies or dogs on there, no. But if you're putting skate shit up or, you know, some cool stuff with music
life,
or, you know, funny jokes, okay,
Sure,
I'll follow you.
yeah.
Just, you know, I mean, I respect the kids and the animals, but it's like, you got to entertain me, you know. I mean,
Right. You don't want to see pictures of
world
my
out
cat?
there. Yeah.
can show
I love
you.
cats.
Oh, you do?
My cat has
you
been
playing?
snuggling me. Thank God. It's my daughter's cat. She just moved back with me a couple months ago.
Amazing.
Thank God I have that because I'm laid up on the couch. This cat's just, he loves rubbing his face
Aren't
on my
they
beard.
great? Yeah.
It's just, it's so nice having a little free, so soft.
He is
like
so
things.
great.
Like a little,
What's the cat's name?
Cat's name is Leo. Like a
Leo.
lion. Yeah.
I
a
like
lion,
that, man.
lion,
My cat's name's
orange.
Larry.
Like a lion. There you go.
Leo and Larry.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Anyways, and I never was a cat. I never could animals because I travel so much.
Yeah,
You can't
it's
be gone
hard
if I'm
stuff.
gone for a
Yeah.
couple weeks or a month. Can't feed the thing.
Right. Can't even have a fish.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing. Exactly.
I'm sorry, but like, if you told Roger in 1989, like, you're gonna be hanging out with Dave Duncan, and he's gonna be talking about like having his cat,
cuddling
like
with his
rubbing
cat.
his face.
Yeah, I know.
Like, you're out of your mind.
Yeah, exactly. It's only gone on the last few months. I'm getting soft in my old age. By the way, this beard is going to be gone as soon as I'm back to the world. It's the first time I've been out of the house in a while.
I
So
love it, man.
I
You
just-
look good with the beard,
Yeah.
bro.
I'm all right.
I
It's
like
cool.
it.
It's cool. Whatever. I guess it's what do they call it, hipster now?
No,
Whatever.
you look great, bro.
I got my tight jeans, my beard. I'm ready for the club.
Well, let me ask you something. You know, you were saying the backyard pools. You know, getting going into the backyard pools, getting chased by the cops, guns drawn, and everything. What about in different countries? Were you even? You know, I'm sure you guys were wilding out in different countries. Did you guys ever have run-ins with the laws out there, or like, you know, or was it pretty
it's-
clean?
Yeah. Things get loose from time to time.
I'm sure. Let's
For
just
sure,
fucking.
for sure.
You know, you guys were.
everybody's doing. I remember I never smoked cigarettes in my life. I go to Spain one time, and these guys are smoking hash with tobacco.
Yeah.
And I go to take it. I couldn't smoke tobacco at the time. This is I don't know, late late 80s.
And you were already smoking weed and stuff, but the
I smoked weed.
tobacco.
Yeah. And so I kind of had to learn to smoke tobacco just to get high in Europe. And you still go back to Spain, Barcelona, whatever, dudes. That's how they do it. And then I remember, God, I got a good story for you. It's in Austria somewhere. This guy, I built this vert ramp, helped him build a vert ramp for this contest for one of the World Cup things. And then that nightclub, the guy's like, "Are you Dave Duncan?" Yeah. He goes, "Here's some weed, a little baggy weed. Here's some weed. Thanks for building the ramp." And he goes, "If you need more, let me know." And I'm with Rune Glifberg, Nicky Guerrero, and a bunch of other dudes. And they're just got this little crew of people puffing right here. And I'm like, "Yeah, give me some more, whatever." He goes, "Okay, here." And so I started giving it to everybody. And we did what we called the joint factory. So every time in Europe, when anyone, these guys, the way they toast the cigarette, the European style that gets rid of the carcinogens, whatever, from the tobacco. And then someone's got the hash and they're melting that and rolling it up. And then the other guy's got the paper. And because there's like 8 or 10 guys, you have to have 2 or 3 joints going at the same time. It's not enough for one.
Right.
So I nicknamed it to joint. Yeah, we got the joint factory. So now every time we go to Europe, and it could be one dude sitting there doing his thing, like, "Yeah, joint factory."
Right.
Because it's literally a process to roll a joint. But one of these contests in Germany, I remember partying, God, with Jake Brown. Jake Brown used to go on. Have you ever Jake Brown on your show?
No.
We'd love to.
I will call him and I'll get it because he needs to come.
He's
on the
great.
show.
Yeah.
If you guys don't mind me sharing some Jake Brown stories,
Sure.
these people,
Please do.
Sometimes Jake Brown doesn't mind you sharing
what's
stories. Sometimes Jake Brown doesn't mind you sharing these stories.
No. It's his life. He knows it. He came over in the 80s. There was a company called Edward Sebastian, right when the Plan B guys came.
Yeah.
I built the Plan B vert ramp, the first Plan B vert ramp, and he was part of that with Tuss and Ben and those guys. Days, and we would go on these tours, and he had no sponsor, he had no hotel room, and I would let him sleep on my floor. Yeah, Jake, I'd buy him beers, get him food. He was my little buddy, and his personality was he's one of the funniest, fun guys. And him and Crum and Rune and the guy Dennis Martin at Reese Run Crew, they did digital with Weiss. Digital. All those guys, we had those guys, that posse. They were some of the funnest guys and the funnest time. I have got story. Don't even get me started. I don't even know where to start right now.
Yeah.
All right, let's take it around a little bit. One of the hilarious ones, X Games. Well, you all know when Jake went down, all that was a wild time. But I don't even know where to go with that. No, Danny, okay, I'm all over the place. I go to Jake's room at one time. He's just in a room by himself. "Yeah, Jake, what's up?" I push him over because we're just on fire, and he hits the bed and flips over. His feet hit the TV screen and shattered his TV screen. So he unplugs it and puts it in the elevator. This TV is just going up and down. People going.
Oh my God.
Eventually they kicked him out or whatever. Another year, he actually brings in these big Marshall stacks and like DJ. He loves DJing, loves music.
Okay.
He's cranking in his room. People are smoking cigarettes, chicks. It's on fire in his room.
It's a club.
At the Standard LA for X Games.
Okay.
The smoke alarm goes off. He takes spray paint and just sprays the smoke alarm.
Yeah, right.
Just spraying paint on it. I swear to God.
What will that do?
Yeah, I know. What?
Well, I'll harden over
dude,
so that way smoke
What-
can't get to it.
Whatever. He's just out of his mind. Like, whatever. They kick him out, give him a new room somehow. Whatever. We went to Dubai this time, and he literally made a point of breaking every piece of glass. His coffee table shattered. Pictures on the wall shattered. Anything that was glass in his room. This is X Games. Like, you were never coming to another X Games again. And a year or two later, he's there. Fall and whatever. He's like a champ, and he's in there. So I remember one of these years we were in Germany.
Yeah.
We partied all night. It was like the Sunday night. And we're upstairs in my room in Munster. I remember that. And we're at Vanessa Torres. She loves us. So we had a wild time. And I got so wild, I threw a beer bottle out of my window. It hit the top of like a taxi cab and bounced right next to some guy. And they called the cops and pointed up to our room like, "Oh shit, we're trying to hide." Cops come in, throw me in jail, whatever. They found some money in my backpack and whatever. They took all my money, basically. I had nothing, basically.
Okay.
Like, you have to pay for this shit. Whatever it was, $1,000 or something. I don't know. I got paid for the ramps. So I'm in jail. So I come out of jail with nothing. I go back. I told the taxi guy, take me to the place where they're tearing the ramps on. So I was supposed to get $500 for designing something in the course. guy, here's your money. I paid the taxi guy, go back to the bar, find Jake and those guys still partying, and I'm back on again. I'm like, are you kidding me? I literally
Didn't even miss a beat.
No money in my backpack. No money. And now I got money in my hand. I got people, what? How'd you get out of jail? How'd you get money? Whatever. And they told me, sign here, sign here. I didn't sign. No, I'm like, you guys speak German. I'm not signing nothing. Turns out, like 6 months later, I got a check in the mail. They gave me all my, like $1,000.
Oh, no way.
Back. They're like, yeah, you cleared it. Whatever. Somehow we found out you're not guilty of this. Whatever. Dude, I threw a ball out window. It really isn't that
Right.
Anyways,
But did you miss the contest by being in jail?
No, this was Sunday night after.
After.
So, but my point is, I come and I'm so excited. I see Jake walk out with a full beer, and I had a beer, and I'm like, Jake, I'm free. I cheers him, and both glasses just smash, and it just broke all this glass on the ground. And the guy comes from the club because he's trying to sweep it up because new people are coming in the morning.
Okay.
I'm like, no, this is Picasso. This is Picasso. You can't. So he literally left this glass on the ground. So now every time when you're partying and you shatter a glass or you just like, I was one time I had a brand new bottle of Jack and it slipped in my hand, just broken. It's a big bottle of perfect Jack and just shit on the ground. I'm like, that's Picasso. I have photos. I have a thing in my computer. It's all Picasso.
Broken
It's like if you're a nightclub and there's cigarette butts and shit, it's just like a party but it just happens. It's art that just life. And
Party
it's
art.
Picasso.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So anyways,
Print that up.
so my, what's that?
Print it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, print
Make
those
a book.
photos.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy stuff. I don't know where we're going with this. What was your question again?
Well, no, just about.
Where am I?
Yeah, I think you answered it by being arrested in
Jake Brown stories. Oh.
Yeah. Well, this kind of leads
We
in.
need to get Jake on here one day.
I know.
Yeah.
He's great.
He's great. No, he's a. I don't know if you know. He had the boards with the burning $100 bills. He's got a tattoo. So speaking of money, that guy would just get money and just burn through it.
Oh wow.
One time we did this thing in Long Beach. He won $2,000 for one of those long jump things, whatever. And it was a Simpsons thing. It was something about Simpsons. I got that signature from Matt Groening on my thing.
Oh wow.
I was announcing it, whatever. There was a girl that her job was to wear the Simpsons head. Well, it was under the ramp where they start off, and Jake took it and stole it and took it to Long Beach somewhere, this nightclub, whatever. And they're calling me, "Where's the Simpson head?" The girl was crushed. She's gonna lose her job.
Oh.
Anyways, we got it back to her, but we partied all night. I think it was one. Jim Greco was there.
Okay.
Crazy. I don't even want to go there. This is some crazy Long Beach arena room shit. Anyways, but Jake, I've had wild times with Jake.
That's
but
amazing. Yeah.
just good fun stuff.
Yeah, we'll get him on the show one of these days.
Yeah,
you
but
know.
him and I don't know what you know about Mike Crone. Mike Crone's the funniest guys. He's an old vert dude, but he was hilarious. He'd get drunk and call him Super Crumb. I don't know if you guys ever heard these stories.
Super Crumb.
Because he had, in World Industries, had a wagon where he was at a wagon, then he fell off the wagon, was like his graphics or whatever. And Kareem Campbell and those World Industries guys were with him, and he had like a thing like this, and he took it off and put on like those guys in Europe too, or like a guy that would have, what do you call when you tie your sweater around your neck, whatever. It's like a cape.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know,
It's almost preppy now with the sweater
so Crumb
on the
would
shoulders.
do that just with a shirt, and he'd run around. He's all drunk, and then we'd call him because he looked like a Superman, like with his cape.
Super Crumb.
So call him, and everyone, to this day, everybody knows Super Crumb. Like when he's drunk as shit, he is the funniest guy. I love skateboarding and fun characters.
Right.
Like I just love skateboarding for interesting people and unique characters, and that skateboarding is like a bunch of misfits. They come up from different, like messed up homes and whatever, but with skateboarding you have a family.
Yeah.
You're accepted, whether you're black or white, Japanese, Mexican, I don't care. Like you're part of us, man.
Oh,
And
yeah.
to be the more unique, the more different, the more funny and loose you are, the better. You know, like
Do you got any good Matt Milligan stories?
oh. Yeah, is he married now or something? I don't know if I can tell.
But how did you became roommates?
Milligan? Yeah, I remember him from the Florida days, but then he came out and he was living in that San Francisco house. Was it with Alyssa Steamer and everybody? Frank.
Yeah, was it
Newell.
Newell?
The Newell house.
Newell.
Newell
Yeah.
house. Yeah, God. They had a trash can. They would play like Tetris of who could, when you put the last can, whoever, if you couldn't make it stand, you had to take the trash out. Just crazy ass shit. Yeah, Milligan. But no, somehow he was a judge. And he liked to get loose and party and have fun. And so he ended up being my roommate on a lot of these things.
Oh, okay.
And I guess he was he did stuff for Girl out there on the road, like sales
He was a
rep or
rep,
something.
yeah.
And a great guy, man. I love Milligan. He's a good guy with skateboarding. He was fun. He was a fun roommate. Always laughing, always having a good time. And
How come you always room with him?
because we got along good, and he was always down. He always knew I was going to go party. Like, hey, let's go out to the club. Let's go. I'll get you in, or whatever,
okay.
you know, whatever. And he was always down.
Okay.
Yeah.
The master.
Did you ever have any problems with like rooming with people that were like weren't down for the party scene?
No, I try to be cool. I don't know. I'm sure people might have got bummed at me from time to time, but I try to be respectful of my roommate. I mean, It's kind of thing when you come home from the bar, you take a dump in the lobby in the hotel before you go to your room. And sneak up I guess, you know what I mean?
In the lobby bathroom, not in the lobby or in the...
lobby bathroom. Or, you know, if you, because a lot of people want to come to my room. Like, let's go to Duncan's room. And, you know, I just have a little boombox.
You know, you're going to have fun when you go to Duncan's
room. I gotta get you guys, we got to go out to the club. We can't just stay, you know, I'll get kicked out of my room.
Yeah.
You know, so I'd get it going. And as soon as it started to get a little much, I'm like, hey, guys, you know, they're calling, you guys are too noisy in there. Okay.
Time to move it along.
Yeah, I try to be professional like that. You know, I want to come back next year or whatever.
Yeah.
20 years from now, Kelly Hart will be the Dave Duncan of his generation.
God, everybody's.
I don't know. That's a hard thing to live up to, dude. You've done it pretty well.
You've done a pretty good job. Yeah. Well, let's talk about the announcing and the emceeing and all that stuff, because I mean, you know, World Cup of Skating and all this stuff. I mean, you've been doing it for what, 20 40 years now?
It was 80s,
you got it started.
It was probably a little over 30 years ago. I mean, I judged it a contest like 40 years ago. Yeah,
well, you said that the one guy, he was announcing and he handed you the mic. And that's where it all started.
Yeah, mid-age, like 30 years, a little over 30 years ago. But then Frank Hawk, Tony Hawk's dad, was getting too old, didn't want to do anymore. He eventually passed away. So Don Bostic, who run World Cup now, took over NSA. At one of the events, Jim Muir threw out a Dogtown board and someone got hit and they sued. So they actually had to change the name from National Skateboard Association, NSA, to World Cup.
World Cup.
So that's why World Cup is now what NSA used to be. That's what's, there's a little trivia for people out there that know all that.
The thing that happens at every demo.
I know.
Well, the sticker toss, the board toss. I know, whatever. So somehow they didn't have insurance, whatever. So now it's World Cup, but also we were doing these contests in Germany and Japan and Brazil and these other events. So we're like, we need to be world. So Don Boston came up with, let's call World Cup Soccer. He just thought it's already established. World Cup Skateboarding. Why not?
Sure.
So it's a great name. I think to this day, it's a really great name.
Yeah.
And for a lot of years, and we did X Games and Do Tour and the Maloof stuff in the beginning. And I remember Deerdick came to first Maloof Cup, and then he just saw that the Maloof, he's like, dude, I want to do my own thing. Like, I don't want to give the money to Maloof dudes, whatever. We need to keep this within skateboarding. So big ups to Deerdick. And I want to talk about some of that because, I mean, knowing Sheckler since he was 7 years old and seeing his TV show and all what he's done, it's amazing how famous he got, how many chicks just love Sheckler. Like, I'd be on the mic at the events, let's do a Sheck check. Seriously, it's kind of like, let's do a sound check.
Yeah.
I'll call it a Sheck check because everybody would love him. I remember Australia one year at these Global World Contests, he was only like 12 or 14 and he was a pro. And they're like, this is a pro event, but it was Globe. And they're like, dude, he rides for World. We have to get him in there. Whatever.
Yeah.
And so we got him in. And then, dude, he turns up being the star, getting X Games gold medal at 12 and this and that. And then this whole TV show. So, I mean, that guy's got millions of followers. And, you know, he got hurt with that ledge thing with his ankles. And now he's back really strong.
Yeah.
I mean, big ups to him for going through the ups and downs of skating, you know, and having to deal with all like, oh, you're super cool and you're not real and, you know, whatever, hardcore. I mean, you know, kind of famous thing. So, same thing with Deerdick, you know, doing his ridiculous thing, you know, and all the big... I love the Robin Big Show. That was so funny. If any of you guys remember, it started out with a DC video.
Oh, yeah.
Where it had this, how rad is that?
It's amazing.
Security guard.
Security guy. Right. And this guy's like, you know, cuddle as a teddy bear or whatever. Yeah. And then what a great show, you know, for all that thing. But I remember my daughter flew into LA one time. I took her to Magic Mountain, from LAX to Magic Mountain. She goes, Dad, you know that guy Rob Deerdick? Yeah, I've been watching the show. I really want to meet the meaty and the mini horse, whatever. I'm like, oh, what do you call him? Yeah, come on by. Came on by. My daughter's like, oh my God, meaty, mini horse. Here's a Rob Deerdick board. And she's like, well, thanks, Rob. All right, cool.
He's won the Best Dad Award.
Oh my God, I know, right? Right? So, but I kind of get crazy about how much millionaires those guys are of skating and how on the mainstream thing of things, I mean, Rob's an amazing skater.
Sure.
Sheckler. But, you know, somehow they're tainted because they're big media stars.
Well, you look at Nigel Houston right now, too. I mean, millionaire buying $1 million houses.
Used to be to his ass when he lived at Davis with his family and it's sad as family stories, but I mean, he's come through it strong, but crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy guy. I mean, that guy's made so much friggin' money skating, but he earned it. The guy went and learned 100%. Shit. Yeah.
100%. Did it all himself.
To do all this street league shit and be able to, when you're calling your name and you can bang tricks out like, but
getting Nike deals.
To be going year after year after year and dominating.
With the landscape of how good people are nowadays. I mean, he's still winning.
It's so next level.
And he's not doing it through some TV show or anything else.
No, it's the real deal.
It's all
just
skating.
through skateboarding.
Yeah.
That's unreal.
Just doing it himself.
Yeah.
But I can't, like, whenever I try and go on Instagram, I don't even like their photos. I don't come up. They've got like 2,000 comments and a million. I'm like, hey, I saw it. Yeah, but
Right.
why even bother?
Sure.
What's it got to be like
Drop in the
that to
bucket.
read through all that shit? I try to go through and like people and follow back and like, I can't imagine,
Yeah.
what it's
Oh my
like to
God.
have that many followers and be just from skateboarding.
It's insane. It's
Yeah.
insane.
And it's just crazy how internet has changed our skate world.
For sure.
10 years, like how long has Instagram been? 10 years? Facebook?
Yeah, around
least,
10
Hey,
years.
Let's
At
go
least.
back. Let's go back to MySpace.
Oh yeah.
I remember going on MySpace. I thought it was like a dating site. I was like Johnny Rocket. Some girls like, you got to be on MySpace. I'm like, I'm not Dave. I'm Johnny Rocket. I'm some incog dude. I'm not.
Sure.
I didn't want to be Dave. I didn't want to be like, what is this about?
Right.
Or chicks? Am I trying to pick up here? What's going on? I know. I've never been on Tinder. I don't need a dating site. I got enough girl drama troubles alone. But then now nobody even goes to MySpace anymore.
Oh yeah, it's
At
dead.
the time,
yeah.
we thought it was like, holy shit, Mike, sell that
is
money,
a new-
make that
yeah,
money.
yeah,
Who
Top
thought
8,
that
the whole
Instagram's
thing.
gonna come around?
Yeah.
Tom.
all that.
Yeah.
Tom was everyone's
Yeah.
Tom from
friend.
MySpace.
Yeah.
But that's just showing you the change of landscape. You never know
Right,
what
right.
happened or what's
Well,
coming.
let's talk about the change of landscape right now. We got the Olympics coming in.
Oh,
you're
that's a good one.
you're actually you've announced
We did some
snowboarding in the Olympics.
I did
You
in
know?
2002.
So you're no stranger to it.
Yeah, I did the X Games for 20 years, like when Shaun White was doing like slope style and so. And I
Yeah.
love snowboarding. I know all the tricks and all that, and I love snowboarding, so I
Mm-hmm.
got that. But in 2002, I did the U.S. The first time they boycotted in '98 in Nagano, and then once it
yeah.
came to America, Terrace boycotted that. Once it came to America, everyone's down. Like, let's
Well,
support.
they were boycotting it
2002.
because skiers were in control of it.
Yes, I announced in 2002, and then in 2006 I went to Trina Lee announcing Shaun White got his first gold medal at that, and it was pretty heavy. Dude, from a kid, you're watching ABC, NBC. So there's 3 channels, and Olympics are on. It's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
So,
people would sit around with their families all day.
When X Games came around, I thought X Games were late. This is something I want to talk about on the show. I forgot about. When 95 X Games, hi, we're doing this thing called X Games, Extreme Sports, whatever. You guys are late. 94, 93, 92, 88, dude, you guys, those are the best years.
Right,
There's
right.
From 95 forward, I don't know that anything exciting is going to happen. You guys- no, I'm serious. I thought they were late. I put on the headphones and the mic, and I felt really weird. I'm a backyard pool dude. What am I doing in this big commercial?
Oh, you felt weird.
I did feel, but I kind of like, you got to do it. Someone's got to do this, so we did it.
Why not you? Yeah.
And a lot of the heavies were there. Tony Hawk was there. Mike V was there. All the rad people in the day. And then it wasn't until Tony Hawk did the 900 in '99, and the street courses starting to get better. The vert thing, it really changed to where, I talked about Maloof now doing concrete courses. Like it's kind of more legit. And I always thought of them being Olympic. That's why I'm bringing you talk about Olympics.
Yeah.
To me, X Games always been our gold, silver, bronze.
That's been
kind of like we have, and it happens every year. Olympics happens every 4 years. So
Yeah.
skating changes so much
That's
year to year that it's kind of interesting. But we did, I did on some of the qualifiers a few months back. San Diego, we had the street thing and the bowl park thing down there in San Diego at the warehouse, and that was kind of cool. It was kind of cool to see who we picked and why we picked them, and
Right.
all that. So,
Well, I'm just wondering your take on it because you had seen it all happen through snowboarding. You were involved with that, and then boycotting it, and then
luckily,
doing it in the
we're
U.S. and
trying
then
to get-
Torino and all that
the
stuff.
guys
So
who build the courses are good, so it's going to be good
Sure,
street
of
courses,
course.
and that's part of it. Because back when we had to do it, we did like what we call gravity games. We
Mm-hmm.
have to mix in the bike dudes with the skate dudes, and they have these big wall rides
Yeah,
and these
you
little
kinda tease
ledges, and
everybody.
like it was really weird trying to compromise.
Right.
So if it's 100% skateboarding, then we're cool.
Yeah.
So I think in the Olympic sense that hopefully it'll be presented right. I mean, the judging and all that.
Well,
should be
are you going to be? Have you been asked to
I don't know.
announce
I don't
or
know.
anything?
There's a lot of politics involved.
Sure.
And,
I
I
can
mean,
imagine.
even just the last few years, it's like, your World Cup, you're kind of the old thing. We got the new thing going on, So I don't know.
I think
We'll
you'd be
see
great
what
at it,
happens.
bro.
Hey, I'd
You
love
should
to do it.
yeah.
How did you see when you did the X Games and went to the Olympics? How was it like logistic wise? Was it like a for the Olympics? Did it feel crazy at all being there?
Super crazy. It's
Yeah.
so next level. The security and the rules. It's almost no fun in a way. Kind of like
really?
it's so serious and so legit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I love about all like the little backyard events or the fun little things that keep it more like what
Roots.
we really. So roots.
Yeah.
Respect to the roots. Yeah,
Sure.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think it got
yeah.
better at the Olympics over time of doing snowboarding? Like,
It's tell you the truth right now. If you watch an Olympic half pipe thing, they do what they call these like corked out, like crazy cork 1080s, 1260s. It's basically just spinning tricks. They're like 1260 to 1080 to 1440, whatever. It's just like it's not. It's gymnastics kind of. It's not really.
Yeah,
when I did it was more like skateboard style, hand plants and airs and different front side 540s, maybe 900. So it was a little more relating to our world. Now it's just so beyond.
Right.
So beyond. So I mean that's just snowboarding. Snowboarding is. But I guess I don't know if it helped it or not. It just made it more commercial. Like the mom and pop shops are kind of no more anymore because it's so big. It's kind of like with skating. The brick and mortar skate shops are tough to struggle because it's all online now or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just a sign of the times. So you can't really hate on it. It's just it is what it is, man.
It is what it is.
2020.
Right.
I mean, I remember those that. The future of what's going to be like in the year 2000, the new millennium, and I mean we're already 20 years into it. I mean we're pretty normal for how it could be a lot crazier. Or it could be more wars, or it could be near like nuclear. I grew up with the Vietnam War, so
right.
and the nuclear threat of like now the Korea shit. I mean, with Russia, I said, dude, we could be gone any minute. That's why we got to live it up. You never know when the guy's gonna press a button and nuclear bombs are flying. And,
God.
Cheers that we're alive and we've survived this long. Who knows?
Seriously, yeah.
Here's to mankind.
Just enjoy it. Everybody's, we got people that are pissed at skating's in the Olympics. It's like, just roll with it, man. See what happens, right?
Yeah. It's unavoidable. Sometimes you just gotta let it go.
It's
I mean,
gonna be a fun thing.
it was gonna go anyway, so we might as well try and get our little hands in it a little bit to shape it and make it right. So
that's what it is us skaters having our hands in it, or at least the people who we trust.
Yeah, and I think the people are going to our younger skaters, this new generation, and to them, that's their whole life. Oh my God, I'm going to Olympics. Their parents are proud of them, and cool. Good for you guys.
The people I've worked with the World Skate stuff and the people that are like in charge of the skateboarding part, they are skateboarders. So
I've been to those meetings. I know about the World Skate
Okay.
deal and all that. Yeah, no, exactly. That's right. So they're trying.
Yeah.
But it's a huge corporate. You're up against a big war. Like you're fighting the battle. You do the best you can. It's like fighting with your hands tied behind
But the
your back,
Olympics, but the skateboarding doesn't need the Olympics. The Olympics needs skateboarding, right? They're trying to attract a younger
You look
audience
at
and all
kids
this stuff.
anywhere in America in their little small town, they're going to keep going to what they're doing. Olympics really don't affect them. They might see it on the TV. Hey, look, Mom, what I'm doing is cool now. It's accepted now.
It makes their parents accept it.
And I know a lot of guys like Chris Sen used to tell these guys when they're filming, hey, you can't ride the dude, we're doing it for the X Games. Oh, you're the X Games? Oh, okay, cool. Go ahead. Like X Games kind of like our
It
Olympics.
changed
You
the
get
little
by
dynamic, right?
I heard
security guards may be more lenient.
Yeah. If
right?
they know
Like-
about you, you've heard he's X Games gold medalist, Chris Sen. Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I heard the timing, since it's in Tokyo, the timing of when it like starts there, the timing was like prime time in the United States when it airs.
They're making it that way because U.S.
Yeah, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And skateboarding will be prime time in the
Okay,
U.S.
I didn't hear
and
that,
all
but that's good.
That's what I had heard.
Well, a lot of these Olympics, when they're in a different country, some of these events are going on at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
We got to wake up
right.
at 3 a.m. to watch
yeah.
these events.
No, they're gonna plan to make sure that those events
happen prime time.
Yeah.
Right. Wow. Well, hey, hopefully I fucking see Dave Duncan on fucking NBC.
I don't know.
Doing some announcing over there.
It would be cool to see all the original skateboard crew along the years be at the Olympics that have like paved the way, because dude, you know how to do it. You want the people there that know how this industry and stuff works.
I would love to see Tony Alva on a microphone talking about what's going on in the Olympics.
That'd be cool. I mean,
And then alongside him, Tony, and alongside him,
Hey, I'm lucky. Tony Hawk has actually been doing some announcing lately.
Yeah.
The Vans Park series and stuff. If
How's
you
he
watch
doing?
those, good.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's a skateboarder. And
Okay.
I've always
I know, but
felt,
still, sometimes people don't have
I've
the...
always felt you could take the microphone job I do and give it to anyone who loves skateboarding. They could do the same job.
Yeah.
But I remember doing like Slam Street Jam where I'm on the mic for like 6 hours at a time.
It's got to be exhausting.
Yeah, like Clyde.
Were you
Clyde
scared to put
Singleton?
yourself out there?
Clyde Singleton. He
Yeah.
would do it with me for like half. And he's like, dude, I can't. How do you do this? For
Seriously.
And that's my thing. You just gotta be so passionate to hang in, and then after that, go to the club, and then wake up the next morning and do it again.
Dave, were you scared to put yourself out there on the mic at first?
Never.
Never?
Like I said, the early days, I was like, I
just an
got
entertainer.
this because I felt comfortable.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big deal back then, though.
Yeah.
Too. This is before X Games. Like,
Well, it all
was,
happened naturally for you, too. Like
Yeah.
somebody handed you the mic, you're like, oh, I'll do that. And then you just did it.
Yeah, it started out. I was judging a lot first.
Okay,
And then I'd hear the mic dudes. I'm like, I can do that, but I know more, or whatever.
Right.
And then I tried throwing some jokes and put some cool music on, and make it more real. Because I had a good time with skateboard. I want the next generation to have a good time.
Exactly.
Not just run by some dude that doesn't
And that's
know
what's important too. I'm not knocking Street League, or I'm not knocking any of the dudes who do it, but sometimes I watch stuff on TV and I'm like, it's not my cup of tea. I don't want to, I would rather hear, somebody who's having fun on the mic, and it's a little too serious for me.
So
and like I'm not knocking anybody. It's just for my own
the
taste.
beginning of Street League things, I always thought was very gymnastics kind of thing. Like, it's a 6.9, 7.9. Like, it's so like I love the jam sessions. Guys are just going out feeding off each other, and the guys are making notes for judges, and like whoever wins. Like, it's not like, slow everything down. Let's wait for the score. Let's slow it down. You got one trick. Like, whoa.
I think
the energy.
Let's get energy going, right?
I think over time,
and that's an announcer too. The announcer brings that energy as well.
Yeah. And it was just so much easier. It was just shit going on, bang, 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 bang.
Even if you're at home on the couch, you want that energy from the contest to be resonating to your couch. It
has to be controlled too.
Burdick had some dream where he wanted to take that way, so it's his money, it's his thing.
Like I said, I'm not knocking anything,
it's
but
part of it.
Sometimes it's a little too NBC for me.
Me too.
But
I think that was what more when it started. Like you said, I think it's really kind of gotten better. Like Paul Zitzer's really great at it too.
Paul Zitzer's great.
Yeah.
See, there's
Andrew Cannon's great.
Totally.
And here again, Zitzer's a vert dude, but he just loves skating.
You know what's awesome?
Zitzer's a great street skater.
Yeah, but Gary Rogers.
Skating,
So X Games they have Gary Rogers as an announcer.
Skate line guy,
and he's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's
Uncensored too.
It's uncensored, but he kind of goes with the guideline of what they give him. So there's a certain time slot you have to talk
for sure.
And some people aren't good at that.
What he's done with skate line?
Yeah.
Oh my god, how does he week after week come up with clowning these dudes and get away with it and just be funny as shit? Like,
but he kind of disclaims whole season. Will be like, hey, I'm just joking, right?
Yeah, of
like,
course. But we need that humor. It's
yeah.
like I love watching comedy. Like Family Guy will talk about blacks and Mexicans. Like they'll just ruin people. I'm like, oh shit, that's primetime TV. And they're just getting racist on shit. Like it's a different time.
They walk the line though.
If you got if you got a sense of humor, you gotta just let it go.
Well, also it's skateboarding, right?
If
it's
you're
like
a real person, you love people. Like what? That's just like some funny shit.
But like let's have fun skating. This is it's just skating, Don't be so serious.
Yeah.
Let's let's have a good time.
Yeah. It's weird because we're talking about Olympics, which is so serious. That is the most serious, and we're gonna find out this summer.
Yeah.
I can't believe the first time in our life. I didn't think I'd see it in my lifetime.
No.
Skateboarding, because it used to be such a rejected, like you're a piece of shit skateboarder. You're never gonna go anywhere with that thing. What are you doing? You're wasting your time.
Sure.
We saw that. We saw that.
What if skateboarding was in the Olympics in like 1988 or whatever? Like,
it would be great. It would be great.
Like, who do you think would have been in there? Who do you think would have been like the Olympic team then?
Tony Hawk could win it all. Christian Hosoi, Hawk and Hosoi. Hey, speaking of that, Hawk and Hosoi, I got a story for you. It was Vision Skate Escape. I broke my ankle. I told you a story. So I'm in the hospital on drug meds or whatever, and they're like, oh, you got to go in and judge this contest. So I'm pretty high on meds, like I've been lately. Anyways.
Okay.
No, so I got two guys next to me that are like the tracker guides, Joe Bowers and Brian Ridgway. And then the other two guys are like indie dudes or whatever. And then I'm the middle guy. So these two guys want Hawk to win. These two guys want Hosoi to win. And I'm in the middle. I'm like, I think Hosoi should win this one. So I literally gave the trophy to Hosoi. I don't know if you remember the skate escape. It was when Chili Peppers.
With the spine ramp, right?
80s, yeah, spine ramp. Yeah. And they came in flying. And Hosoi did a big air. And they talked little Rick trick. I'm like, man, that's set up for an air. It's not a lip trick. He did a backside crail slide or something.
Oh, you were the judge.
Which I was the
judge.
judge.
And you were the deciding. You were the split vote.
Which on that note of like, we're taking it back to if I was an Olympic judge in the 80s, I would have given it to Hosoi.
You gave it to Hosoi?
But because he was the style, everybody wanted to be Hosoi.
Right.
Nobody wanted to be the scrawny, skinny Hawk.
But he was killing it.
He had the best tricks, and he should win.
Right.
But Hosoi, dude, who wouldn't want to blast over here going, he would laugh. He's like, just, I'm like, you had to look up to him because he was flying over your head. You had to look up to him.
I couldn't imagine.
Speaking of rock stars, I've had some crazy meetings. One of my first rock stars I ever met was David Bowie in Australia.
How did that come about?
We're talking about Jason Jesse was on tour with us with Santa Cruz, and he got tattoos from this guy, Mark Mahoney, which is a big famous guy in LA. Well, Hunt Sales, Soupy Sales, which is a big 70s guy, his son was a drummer for Tin Machine. He's like, they're in together in the same tattoo place. He's like, we're going to be in Australia doing Tin Machine, making an album for like 6 months. And he's like, we're going to go there in a few months to do a skate tour. Oh, look me up when you're there. So We're on our way to go see this David Bowie show. We're wasted. We went to a strip club that night, raging. I'm like, dude, come on. I'm trying to rally 10 guys. Craig Johnson, Bob Boyle, I don't know, all kinds of dudes were on tour with us.
Boyle.
So we get everybody in the van. We're late. We're late as shit. Come on, guys, we're going. And it's actually like a half hour to get this thing. Windy roads. I'm hauling ass. I get pulled over for being drunk driving.
Oh, no.
They're like, you got to blow in this thing. The thing blows up. I'm in trouble. No, Jason, Jess, I'll drive. Don't worry, I'm sober. And like, what are you guys doing? We're going to see David Bowie. They loved our story. I got off the hook.
No way.
Jason Jesse ends up driving. We get there. And then Bowie's like, oh, you guys are skateboarders from America? Well, what are you doing here? Oh, get these guys some beers. Yeah, dude, we had to hang with David Bowie for a little bit backstage, like 20 minutes, just hanging out. And then I had a little story about him because I seen the Moonlight Tour, and Craig Johnson had a story, so I'm in the supermarket or something. And
The super. I saw you at Vans.
No, he did. Yeah. He was giving us the time of day. Whereas these chicks are like, can I have your autograph? Yeah, here you go. Okay, later. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's back to the boys.
Oh, he was vibing with you guys.
Yeah, he was so stoked on us because we're just kids skateboarding in Australia.
I love that. What year was this? What were we talking?
88, 89.
89.
And then I met, what was it? Lemmy from Motorhead. That was,
okay.
Rest in peace. Both these guys are dead, by the way. It's just crazy that, I mean, how rad is Motorhead? He came to Germany and did the with Kid Rock. Oh, I can't even say that on camera. What happened with Kid Rock? But
okay.
Crazy stories.
I wish you would though.
But Lemmy, once some mic, I'll give you guys that one.
Okay.
But Lemmy Motorhead, yeah, he came down. Dwayne Peters, his chick was with him or something, brought him there. It was rad to hang with Lemmy. He did a thing in Europe. We were backstage Motorhead. Like, that's another thing to be. I used to see these things at Tony Alva on stage, Black Flag concert, and he's up there kicking heads in, throwing guys out. I'm like, dude, what a rock star. There's the band. Here's Black Flag. But you, to be on stage with them, and now I get like Pennywise gets me on stage or different bands. Like, I get backstage or crazy shit. I'm like, wow, like, it's just through skateboarding. Somehow I got people in music world that let me go do this cool shit. And
Isn't that crazy?
It's a little bonus to rub elbows. Fans. Billy Idol. Oh my God.
Billy Idol.
We did this thing. It's like Monsters of Rock in Europe. Donington tour in London. They have the Soul Bowl thing I was talking about. Dwayne Peters is there. And, all the Vert dudes are there, Rune Glipberg and everybody. And then there's Metallica. There's 100,000 people, 100 bands, Slayer, everybody there, And then we're in the lobby of our hotel. Billy Idol comes walking in at like 1 a.m.
In the lobby.
Yeah, we're like, dude, fucking Billy Idol. Let's get photos. I got photos of Billy Idol hanging out. Next day we go see a show. Wow. Crazy ass shit. There was one thing we saw Slash from Guns N' Roses, and I was with Danny Way. He'll tell you the story. We were in Cabo. There was like a Trans World Business Conference. Okay. And it's like 11, 12 in the morning, and then we're like, there's a bar. There's one dude at the bar. I'm like, dude, is that Slash? No, it can't be Slash. Slash, what are you doing down here? You just like a getaway? And he goes, no, we're doing a thing at Cabo Wabo, which is Sammy Hagar's club. Alice Cooper Video. First 300 people in free. Get there earlier in. Fuck, we went. We're in line. We get fucking saw Slash, fucking got to hang with, and then I seen Slash later to talk to him about it was shit, whatever. It's just weird rubbing elbows. It's just weird rubbing elbows with rock stars. Because as a kid, you're just so far removed from this shit. Oh yeah. Just like as a kid reading Skateboarders, seeing Tony Alva and Jay Adams to go skate pool. Jay was one of my best friends.
Untouchable.
And then to skate pool them and be like to relate to him, and I'm like, I feel like I've carried the torch when I go do my events for these guys from the 70s that I grew up idolizing because there's guys in magazines, and now the real life friends, just like I'm sure all the kids now that look up, just like you coming out doing what you did and being able to hang out with fucking rad dudes.
Oh yeah, Eric Costin and all this.
Dude, Costin,
Frosty.
Man, how amazing is that guy?
He's the best. Dude, he's one of the best skateboarders in the world.
I love that you party with every generation of skateboarders.
It's amazing. It's incredible.
It's amazing, dude.
Well, we've had some good times on it. Luckily with the World Cup thing, man, big thanks to that. It's been an amazing road over the last generation.
It's incredible.
Skateboarding, just to see that, and especially when contests were the cool thing, like going to do these events, it was a little different than now with the video thing,
Right.
I'm going to do this thing in Estonia in a couple of weeks, and it's like I wish there was more American. There's probably be 5 or 10 there. That's good, but there used to be like 50 American dudes there. Somebody would go. Now I guess everybody's too cool or too busy or whatever.
Is that like super gnarly?
It's Estonia, yeah. It's a BMX thing. Grayson Fletcher.
What's it called?
Simple Games?
It's called Simple Sessions.
Yeah.
Simple Sessions.
Simple Sessions.
Those contests are insane.
It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's just a big arena thing, just like the Germany things back in the day. The kids go crazy, autograph sessions.
But it's almost like X Games, like what it was back in the day.
Yeah,
where like
mega
ramps.
Yeah. Exactly. BMX dudes are doing double backflips and cool shit. And kids, we have our little skate session. There's rails. There's gnarly flip shit going on.
Yeah.
It's cool, but it's a fun vibe. It's a fun vibe. Everybody puts their board down, goes out the club, wilds out. Like,
Yeah.
it's cool. That's coming up in a couple weeks. So big up, Simple Session.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
it's
it's so
amazing,
sick.
man. I feel like you just have so much fun, dude. You're still doing it, traveling the world.
On that same note, one of my favorites I got to talk about is Prague, the Mystic Cup. People who've done it, there's a lot of history there. I mean, every major pro's been through Prague for the Mystic Cup. It's 25 years now it's been going.
Yeah.
And it's a festival vibe. It's only skateboarding, but it's like there's bowl. There used to be vert and street. Now it's bowl and street, but there's a whole music vibe behind it, and it's just you're there at the park. It's kind of like the Tampa thing. You're
Yeah.
But the nightclub thing, or not, the night vibe is right there too. I don't know, whatever. It's just the Europe. Something about the Europe thing. The cops. There's no cops. Do what you want.
Well, they're just looking for real trouble.
Yeah. And like I say, there's no knives, there's no guns, there's no trouble ever.
Sure.
20 years, I've never had one, never even seen a fight.
Isn't that crazy?
We're just, woo, we love skateboarding, we're partying.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. So that's in Spain. I'm going to Spain. Who doesn't love Spain?
Love Spain.
Come on, Spain.
Love Spain.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah.
Barcelona.
So-
What's your
Yeah.
favorite contest to go to every year?
Say what?
What's your favorite contest?
Those are some of the ones. That's what I'm saying. I'm getting ready for Estonia is a fun one, but Prague. I've been there every year for like 23 years. Like every summer, I'm there, like just on fire doing it, and in Spain as well. Like, yeah.
Are there any like, since you've been announcing all these things, any like you said there's a lot of inside jokes between you and the skaters? Are there any like good ones that are like worth talking?
Now I have to think. You're making me think. I was on a roll till that. You're making me stop and think. Inside joke. Well, I mean,
I feel like you need to throw a name at him.
I mean, you know, people used to heckle Andy McDonald back in the day, but I never did because I like Andy. He's a good skater.
Yeah.
And as a
He's a good
microphone
dude.
guy, I kind of have to be neutral.
Even keel.
Here comes
kinda,
Andy McDonald. Look at him
yeah.
go, Mr. Consistent, whatever, you know, his yellow helmet. Yeah, you know, so I don't know. I mean, I kind of give love to everybody, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I remember Omar Hassan saying that you would call the dude that rode for 2 truck sponsors.
Oh, no, that's Omar. He had 4 trucks and Indy trucks. Yeah. Yeah, look at this guy. He's got 2 truck sponsors. He's making money, dude. He actually drove a Ford truck. You're right. There you go.
Yeah.
4 trucks
Yeah.
and indies.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if you had any random other ones that I know.
I probably do. I just do. There's
But that's the thing is, being an announcer, you're going off the cuff. You're going, you're freestyling it as you go. You know, you're not thinking about stuff. You're just, and I love that.
Kelly Hart's on the course. What are you calling out?
Kelly Hart's on the course. Look at him go.
He did.
Look at him go.
He's like, who's that? That's the dude that sits over there.
Yeah, dude in the corner.
Put him in the nightclub. He's worthy. Put him in the nightclub. No, it's all good. You talked about judging and all that, and like it's crazy how judging is so subjective. You know, like it's what one judge thinks of another, and you know, it's in a way. I mean, we all judge skateboarding. You see a video, you're going to judge whether you like the guy's style, you like that trick, you know, and that's
You see anything,
it's kind
you
of like
judge it.
art.
Sure, yeah.
It's kind of like art, you know, like some guys like this, some guys like that.
Right.
You know?
And that's why you have a bunch of judges
yeah.
and it all evens out, you know?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah,
Do you like judging?
I do.
You do?
I love it. Because
Okay.
if I prefer judging over announcing.
Oh, you do?
So it's hard work. You have to
announcing's
study or
gnarly.
switch or regular. If
He's just constantly talking.
Yeah, you know, but judging, you don't have to speak. You're really focused and you're really.
Weird. I don't enjoy it. I don't like judging.
Well, I mean, I prefer to just be a fan and just watch and have
Sure.
a beer and go, woo, yeah, cool, this guy's ripping.
Yeah.
But you know, I know that I know real good shit, and I know that my opinion matters.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the announcer, I look at judges going, you're blowing it. That guy should be that guy. Like,
Sure.
I can't really
It
say
happens.
anything.
It happens.
Can't say, but my opinion is different than theirs. You know, they might think the tech guy's better than that guy, but to me, the risk was so gnarly what this guy did. He should beat the little tech guy that didn't risk it as much. So
Have you ever looked back and be like, I judged that guy wrong. He should have got more points, or
we try to keep it. That's the fucked up thing about the TV things. And like Street League, whatever, you can't change your score. For us, when we do like a jam session, we'll do it. And when we go back in and change, before we announce the final results, we make sure that all the judges, hey, this guy in 3rd place is on a podium. This guy in 4th. Are you sure?
You're almost, you got to get on the same page.
This guy might say, hey, this guy did this trick. Oh, you missed it? Well, you should, whatever. You got to make sure.
You have a little round table.
Yeah, that's why in Prague we have that. We we're not stuck to where you get that score because the next guy, it's tough.
Sure.
Putting a number to the run.
To the
is
trick,
hard.
yeah.
That's hard.
That's what I wouldn't enjoy about
Yeah.
it. I wouldn't enjoy that aspect.
But someone's got to do it, and I'm like, yeah, pick me. I will put my hand
make
out.
sure that-
Hopefully they,
Yeah.
But we have usually, just so you guys don't know about judging, usually there's 5 scores. You throw out the high and low. So in case someone is a little off, oh, that's my buddy Danny Way, I love him. Yeah, cool.
Later.
That score's gone.
Yeah,
Right.
I hate that guy. Later.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So like if Roger's a judge and he's giving out hundreds to everybody,
Yeah.
his score's probably going to be thrown out.
Yeah.
Just give it 100 to everybody.
100 to everybody. Oh, he's had a couple Stellas.
I feel like Nigel deserved 100.
But
Yeah,
some
exactly.
people don't know, though. One guy could be on a higher scale the whole contest.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, your score's getting thrown every time. Like, you got to bring it down. So
Exactly.
as a good
That's what I'm
judge,
saying with
like,
Raj.
as a head judge, you have to level them out the first.
Yeah.
You gotta let them know
run,
where
the
they're
first
at.
Good
Yeah.
run, not the first run, but the first good run. Hey, how high are you guys going? The high 80s, low 90s. Let's get everybody in sync here.
It kind of sets
because
the
if
tone.
not, you're gonna get thrown out. The high guy, low guy is gonna get thrown every time. You guys got to get within a 10-point range or whatever.
Yeah.
So
it's just some
there's
tech talk for all you people out there.
course,
what
right.
goes on behind
There's a
these
science
contests.
to it.
Yeah.
There's a science
Kelly
to
knows all
it.
about it.
Yeah. We've talked about
You will
Kelly.
learn this at the Olympics in 6 months in Tokyo. You'll see that.
While you're bitching and complaining at your TV, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Nigel should win.
What's interesting to me is that you've had, skateboarding and injuries, right? Hand in hand. We talked about your ankle, fucking.
My wrist that brought me.
The
I would
wrist.
not be with you guys if I didn't have a broken wrist.
Yeah, that's true.
Ankle is one of the worst. When you said like one of the worst things, yeah.
And
Ankle,
not only that, you got a metal in your hip.
I
You
got a metal hip. Yeah,
metal hip.
Yeah.
Is that due to falling or is that due to just overuse of like?
Yeah,
I don't
What
even know.
happened?
I don't even know. They say sometimes people get in car accidents and get weird shit happen, but I don't know. It's my pushing foot.
Okay.
So it's not like my forward hip where I slam on all the time.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I've just pushed so many years, but I literally had no cartilage left.
Oh, wow.
So I couldn't lean over to tie my shoes and socks on planes and sleeping. It was like an electronic thing where every 15 minutes I'd have to disconnect the electronic charge to move around because it was pain. The pain would be there. So as soon as I roll over and move, it was really bizarre. It was.
To be honest, I had a similar thing. I had to get surgery on my hip. I had no cartilage or anything.
But they just shaved it down,
Yeah.
right?
I had like
shaved the bone down.
Yeah.
And the cartilage grew back.
Yeah, I have a hip impingement. No, yeah, and they do a little thing where they puncture holes in your bone, and then it kind of bleeds
In the
and
socket?
Yeah, and it bleeds out, and it kind of creates some cartilage after.
Okay. In
Yeah,
the
little-
socket or the
Yeah, the socket. Yeah. So, but some people have different, different.
Yeah, I don't know. I went to a chiropractor one day and they go, "Oh, your back's a little out of whack. By the way, you're going to need hip surgery." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? My hip was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine." And I swear, since that day, I walked out of his office year after year. My hips.
Oh,
are,
seriously?
I'm like, "Oh my god!" And then
was right.
I go, "How am I going to know when I need hips?" He goes, "You're going to know." And then
wow.
3 years later, I'm like, "Fix me," like okay.
Great. So you walked in to get your hip fixed.
And they said, "What surgery you're going to do is not covered by insurance. You have to pay $25,000 to get the surgery." I actually took $25,000 out of my pocket, my life insurance, whatever.
Wow.
Paid $25,000, got surgery because the metal they were using is cobalt steel, and it was not proven, I guess, as far as the insurance people. It was like new technology.
Oh.
But my guy was LA Joint Replacement Institute, which is super high tech. They've been like on the cutting edge of hip replacement. Highly recommended by my doctor. So I got out. I'm perfectly healthy. My doctor actually is the one that helped tell me to do this little magazine for the men's health and fitness thing, whatever, with Lance Armstrong there, whatever. So point being, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I got the,
Feel good?
I got the thing. Yeah. And actually I have now a better quality of life. Like I can tie my shoes. I could go skate. It was a hip resurfacing. They said, just destroy that one. And when get done with it, we'll do the full hip replacement.
wow.
Jeez.
Okay.
So it's basically a metal ball and socket.
Okay.
It's a metal socket, metal ball, and it just works together.
Crazy.
So yeah, so I'm good.
Wow.
That
Still
was
rolling
18 years
around
ago.
and doing your shit,
And then
eh?
my other ankle, the one I broke in Europe
Yeah.
is the left one, and then the right one I did at Vans. So I've got metal plates and screws both ankles, metal hip and metal in the wrist.
Oh,
So
my God.
4 metal. They will rebuild him. He will last. So
Bionic Duncan.
I'm 57. I'm still going. Yeah.
Does the metal detector go off when you go through it?
It does.
Oh, what?
Every time. And I tell them, I'm like, yep, I got a metal, like foreign countries. I just point to it. They're speaking crazy, whatever
They
language.
just- yeah.
Yeah, and then they check me and I'm good. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Well, you probably see in the X-ray like your
There was one
skeleton.
time, I will admit, I had like some hash in my pocket I completely forgot about. And I pulled it out. And then there was a paper clip from the money they gave me from getting paid.
Okay.
That set off the metal detector. And I pulled it out going, why is this thing going off? And I see it's a fucking paperclip, and I seen the hash, and I grabbed the hash, and I put it under there and whatever, and they got it, and they somehow got through. I'm like,
Oh wow.
like some international country where I should be in jail for.
Right, for like,
Dude, it's like, dude, I'm not murdering and raping. I'm just fucking partying. Whatever.
you just got some hash, leftover hash in the pocket.
Yeah, which I forgot about. I was partying, whatever.
Oh my God.
Shit happens, whatever.
What else do we got, bro? I mean, we've talked about so much, and we've jam packed in so much information. I love it, bro. But do you have anything else?
So,
Any other stories?
everybody looks at me
or?
as a contest guy. Oh, here's Dave Duncan.
Sure.
He's announced a World Cup skateboarding. But I just got to let people know I love skateboarding.
Yeah.
I skate all the time. I love skating. I've been skateboarding most of my life. And it's just, it's something about the passion and the love of it all that even though I'm a contest guy, I don't care if you win or lose. Let's go have fun. That's what I love skateboarding events because they bring everyone together.
That's it.
Like we talked about back in the 80s, if you were you were at the event, you were doing, or at the demo or wherever was bringing, like, oh, there's something with skateboarding going on. Let's go hang out. Let's do it. So big thanks to World Cup Skateboarding for keeping me there forever. I guess I haven't been fired yet. So I've been okay, even though we've had some wild times on the road. But I do give love to all skaters, whether you're whatever country you're from or culture, whatever, any
Pool,
good or
street,
not.
fucking whatever.
Yeah. A big up to John Comer. He just passed away. I don't know if you guys know much
yeah.
about John Comer.
Yeah.
One leg. Speaking of jokes, I used to say he's doing a one-footed everything. Yeah, he's a one-footed frontside hair. Because he really literally has 1 foot.
Yeah.
So that was one of my little go-to things. But me and him are friends. He got ran over by a car when he was a kid.
Oh my God.
But how inspirational is that?
yeah.
To see this guy on vert ramps, like just doing stuff like.
Yeah.
Pretty heavy. And then I don't know if you guys have seen much of like the handicap Olympics guys skateboarding, like blind
they're
dudes.
blind.
Yeah. How rad is that, man?
Amazing.
These guys, and you
amazing.
got to be, all of us got to be thankful in this room that we can see, we can feel.
Yeah,
seriously.
And these guys do stuff. So big ups that. We talk about Olympics, and there's like the adaptive Olympics they call it now.
Yeah.
And I see it with snowboarding. Like the guy falls over in his little wheelchair ski thing, and you can't help him. He's got to get himself back up. They want to be independent. Like, don't help me. I got this. Like, pretty rad.
Yeah,
Pretty rad that
I love
these
that.
people have a handicap and they're like on their own.
Yeah.
And they're thriving. They're killing it, man.
Yeah. I do got to give a shout out to some of my friends that passed away. Last summer, we did this thing in Oregon, and I got an email. We were doing a thing because, Mark Hubbard, a good friend of mine with the Grind Lines, passed away. He was a in the band, heavy metal, whatever. He got crazy on that. And then Preston, my good friend, passed away in a car accident, which was crazy as hell. So I got an email. Jake Phelps is going to be announcing with me for this event to honor those dudes. And like within 2 weeks, he's dead. I'm like, holy shit. I was excited to announce with Phelps, we're going to do a little rip ride event for him. And then now I'm doing the guy's like kind of funeral thing or whatever. Right. But how rad was that? Tony Trujillo and his band came up, the bad shit, those guys did it. A bunch of rad, Peter Hewitt and all the gnarly rad dudes came to Lincoln City, which is where Mark Scott and the whole Dreamland crew is from. And they had a raging thing. And it's just great to celebrate life of people who have passed.
Right.
And we all got to go sometime. So sometime later, you guys, I'm out here, but right now I'm alive, so let's
have fun, right?
Yeah. But I have seen a lot of my friends. Steve Schneer is one of them that passed a long time ago. I mean, Fausto.
Right.
I meant to go to San Francisco. Fausto handed me my first set Indies. Here you go. I mean, I'd rode Indies before, but to actually be sponsored by him and go, okay, anytime you need, you got trucks, guys. Still to this day, Rhino hooks me up, whatever I need, whatever.
Right.
So, it's a blessing to have that. And, we all got to go sometime. I know everyone's got their little stories of people. I'm blessed at my age. I've had so many people, like, 20, 30 people younger than me. They're gone. Like, when is my time? When am I going?
That's a trippy thing. So, like, when you start getting into, like, in the 40s and whatever else, and like, all of a sudden you start seeing kids in the 30s, like, passing away, like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Yeah, my dad was 36 when he passed. So anything past that, I just look at as bonus years. This is like 37, 38. I'm not even supposed to be here. I should not worry about a thing. He says, my bonus round, let's go live it up. And seriously, so that's why it's been, 20 years now that I've just been
living life. Yeah.
Literally 20 years of on the road. Like, these are bonus years for me.
Totally. Now, you said your dad had passed from a heart thing. Did you ever go get checked out to make sure you didn't have the same
but I
type
think
of...
because at that time I was 14, I was surfing, I was skating, I was working as a car, more physical.
Sure.
And you know, my dad, he was pretty fit. He wasn't overweight or anything. It was just a hard thing. It was part of our family.
Yeah. Okay.
So my grandma and so you go get checked out. But what can you do? You know, they say you can get checked out and walk out and still die. Like, you know, you can't. It doesn't really say anything. So
yeah. But as our technology grows and medicine and everything,
Yeah,
there could be a preventative
I had a
stuff.
heart issue.
Yeah, a heart issue. Yeah.
you're alive.
Come here.
Yeah.
Partying with Dave Duncan on the 9 Club.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Living up like there's no tomorrow.
I love
There
it.
is no tomorrow.
You gotta live
Not
life.
guaranteed.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's not guaranteed. Exactly. On that note, you guys live it up. Go skate. Keep enjoying yourself. Good times. Good friends.
Yep.
That's
Don't
what it's
hurt
all
anyone.
about.
I love it, man. Should we wrap this up, or do you want to anything else you want to talk about or touch on? I feel like I don't even know what we covered so much.
I could go for days.
I
I
know.
know. Yeah.
Well, how about this? How about Kelly goes and gets you some stuff, some 9 Club stuff to take home? We'll get
Yeah,
you
Kelly.
some mugs and
Yeah, I'll
stuff.
get you some.
And we'll just keep this going. You know, we'll just
Yeah.
keep wrapping out. How about that?
I love behind your heads are useless wooden toys. I'm looking at. It reminds me of the New Deal days when all that.
That's
I
it,
have that
yeah.
video, that VHS. I have so many VHS videos in my house. Does he even watch them anymore? Like, are they even good?
They're
for
on
anything?
YouTube now.
I know you can go on YouTube. Yeah.
Should I throw them
Pop
all
them in the
away?
VCR.
Like, should I throw them all away? What I do?
No, there's people out there.
I
If you
have
don't
secret-
want
Give him
them,
the secret tape.
that secret tape. There's a bunch of.
I need to find this. I have every 411. I have all those. Like,
That's amazing.
I mean, there's so
I had
much
this.
skate history.
I had the same problem, but then I was like, they might be worth something one day. You never know. But like, it took so much space, and I was like, I can't. I can watch this. I kept some of the. You got to keep the ones that really mean something to you.
Well, I have every skateboarder magazine, and at some point, someone's like, "Oh, they're worth $10,000," and then now they just release them online. Like, "Oh, they're all online." I'm like,
Don't you have every
Isn't it-
Thrasher
yeah,
from
yeah,
the
yeah, every
80s?
Thrasher from the early days, but it means something to have something to hold in your hand.
Time to call Kevin Marks.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Look back library. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I love look back web guys. Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's
But it's
great what
just
they're
it's just some, you know, I mean, to have that sometimes the money's not the root of it.
To me, I
it's
get
a
my friends
sentimental.
on a Friday night. We come to my house. We'd all look at the mags, and we knew every quote of every photo, but what page it was on. Like we were kind of skate nerds back in the day.
Yeah.
You
That was
like,
your
it's just-
life.
Well, that's all you.
You know?
That's I mean, that's what you guys had, right? There wasn't no YouTube.
There was
couldn't
no
go
video.
and
No,
look
yeah,
at it.
exactly.
It'd be fun to do some sort of like skate nerds with like where Gressel hosts a thing and you have like a couple older dudes from the 70s, whatever, and then he's like Gressel just basically pulling out quotes from like old skateboarders, being like, "Who said this?" or "What
I got a
caption
quote
was
for it.
that?"
I
And
got
you'd be like,
a
"Oh, the
quote for it
photo
right
is
now.
this."
Listen to this one. Tony Hawk did a Caballero stalefish over the channel in Houston, and Neil Blender said Tony Hawk does God knows what over channel. It was in a trans world. And that's what you were
knows
asking
what.
me. Do you ever fake it of whatever like, is going on? And Neil Blender literally was like, Tony Hawk, it was in print. He could see
didn't know how to
tech by
describe it.
tech what he did.
Yeah.
But somehow Tony Hawk was so beyond, who does a Caballero stalefish over a channel? Like, it was like, Tony Hawk does God knows what over channel.
You didn't see. You just had
And
to.
that's the quote. If you go look at the channel, that is the quote. So
Wow, that's amazing.
and it's, you know. it's
Surprised
part-
that it didn't
part
become the
of
trick
skate.
name.
Yeah,
I know.
exactly,
God knows
yeah.
what.
No,
Yeah.
it got tech to be like cab, stalefish, you know, whatever. It got so tech, like all the tricks. And before that,
yeah.
it was like, you know, the history. I got stories for days of how the Madonna was named, the Les twist. I don't know if you guys know all those tricks if you want to care about it.
Yeah. No, please.
Yeah, how did the Madonna?
Okay, so the Madonna was a one-footed lean to tail. Tony Hawk was doing all his tricks, and nobody actually was copying his tricks or doing his tricks. He said, you got to give him a cool name. So Madonna was cool at the time. So the one-foot lean to tail. But if you do it the backside way, it's called the Sean Penn, because Madonna and Sean Penn were dating.
at the time.
No.
Yeah. And the gay twist actually was the Caballero that Neil and Lance felt gay because they had to grab on a Caballero. So
Right.
the Caballero mute grab is called a gay twist. But if you do it backside grab, it's called lesbian twist. Instead of gay twist, it's gay and lesbian. So it's called les twist. So there's the gay twist, the lesbian twist, and it's all just fun names. Back in the day when people, you could do a
Now
trick.
it's
and
not
you could
so
name your
PC
trick.
at all.
Now it's all tech talk, you know,
Yeah.
frontside flip, 180 nose
Sure,
grind, whatever, you know, it's all so tech that I don't know. I liked it when crooked grind was like the K grind for a
K-grind.
while.
Yeah,
You know, and now it's just still back to crooked grind. It didn't stick.
Yeah, I'm
But,
trying
you
to think.
know, so I had
like
the Christ Air.
Christ
and
Air,
the
yeah.
Judo Air was around. I mean, there's all these 80s things of the Benihana.
How did that get named the Benihana? Do you know that?
I don't know. I just remember
Well, there was the
Les
Benihana, and then there was like
Lucas-
another one there's
Because I did this front sider, which in a pool at Del Mar was rad as hell. Try a front sider, and not over a launch ramp, which is kind of easy. Try doing it on a vert ramp or a vert bowl or whatever. A 1-footer front sider is pretty rad, pretty gnarly. So I think less, because I always think of going to Benihana for where they cook the food. It's like an throwing the shrimp into your hat or whatever. Like,
but I think
I don't know.
There was two names for a Benihana. There was like a Benihana and Benihama or whatever it might have been. I can't even remember.
Huh.
And one was one way, one was the other way, or something like that.
Right. Well, the original was the front side.
Yeah.
The front side way. Yeah, that's all I know of.
Benihana.
But I always thought the Les Twist was Lester, because Lester,
Lester, yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It was gay and lesbian.
Yeah, nowadays it is kind of tech. We don't really have the names.
To see the 540 get made, McGill did the McTwist, and all of a sudden Tony Hawk did the 900. We just called the 900.
The 900, right.
And I was there for both of those to see him. And then all of a sudden the 1080, it's funny because that guy Tom Shar who did it, we called him the Tom 80.
Tom 80.
It was the joke at the bar. And now, who's that kid? Mitchie Brusco's did a 1260.
Yeah.
I never thought in my lifetime, did we ever, the 900 was enough.
Right. Yeah.
I think Neil Blender.
I thought 1080 would be it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
I remember the 540, Neil Blender went to the Pro Shop and goes, it's over. It's 540. Like, skateboarding's changed forever. It's kind of like when I'm talking about the snowboarding, it's just got so gymnastics of
Right.
1260 and 1080 and 1440.
God.
And we're kind of there almost,
Yeah, it's true.
It's crazy. Who knows? Olympics 2020, tune in.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen?
1470. I don't know.
Yeah, but a lot of that, we haven't talked about the ramp changing, because like I talked about the plywood ramps in the 80s when we were riding, now they have Mace 9, Skate Light.
Skate Light.
And the bigger transitions makes for more hang time. So a lot of that has changed. People always ask me, hey, what's going to happen with the future of skating? And I just think it's the terrain.
Yeah.
All the tricks have been done. I mean, there's going to be little twists here
Well,
and
the
there.
terrain's
just gotta
always
go higher.
changing. It's always changing.
That's the great thing of like,
Higher and further.
We can build whatever we want. That's why like the mega ramp and these guys just,
That's why the 1260. That's
Mitchie Brusco did that.
It's because it's happened because they built a bigger ramp to do it on.
Time. Yeah. Exactly.
Like I was wondering if they'll ever make a mega bowl.
Oh God.
You know what I mean? Like where you have a 14-foot bowl where people are just blasting out doing fucking 15
The thing is,
airs.
though, I think as far as a human body can pump the transitions for a quarter pipe for that, it's kind of a one pump deal.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if there's medium end or shallow end, you could kind of keep it going. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that theory. That'd be awesome.
Be able to pump it and just go
then,
further and higher.
come out of that and do some. Oh, you know what? Who's doing that is Elliot Sloan. Have you been to his backyard? No. He's got the vert ramp, the rocks over like 100-foot rocks over ramp. But then he's got like a little mini mega. Goes in the quarter pipe, and he's actually, as you come out of the quarter pipe, instead of just ending, he's going to keep it going.
Keep it going, yeah.
To where you do another
Sure.
to another quarter pipe.
Yeah.
So you're
That's what
right.
you need to,
Yeah. So that's the terrain.
Yeah, the
But
terrain.
you got to have money.
It's ever changing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Who's going to have that in their back?
couple
When
bucks.
Bob's Mega Ram was an X Games Mega Ram that they're like, oh, we're done with this. Put it in my backyard. Cool. And then thankfully they've had it to train on and keep going.
Right. Bob probably only had to pay the transport fees and stuff like
whatever,
that.
Yeah. I mean, it
China
costs a lot
will
to
build a big
maintain and all that. I guess Skate Light hooks them up. Big thanks, Skate Light, for giving them Skate Light on all. But that's, I mean, people talk about where's skateboarding going. Well, there's the future, thanks to Skate Light making like this hard, fast surf that's for the weather you can put outdoors. It rains on it. It's not bubbling, buckling like Mason and I used to.
Yeah, I think
plywood.
Skate Light lasts like 5 years? Something like
years.
that.
A long
time,
7 years.
There's skater skins now too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just built a ramp in Riverside a couple months ago.
Oh, yeah?
Little mini bowl, little fun thing for the kids. So if you're in Riverside, go check a little mini bowl I just built.
Nice.
Pretty fun, yeah.
You're still out there building and got your tool belt on and you're fucking doing it.
Still doing stuff. Yeah.
love
It's
that.
good. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite ramp they ever built?
Favorite ramp I ever built? Some of the Volcom, because it was so close to my house. Volcom stuff was fun.
Okay.
The van stuff. I think the Combi's got my claim to fame, because I grew up at Chicken's house, and then we had Kelly Belmars. We had the club.
Did you know how to pour concrete
basic
before
club.
going into that?
A little bit, just from doing like driveways and like home construction stuff, like ditches,
Foundations
and things.
and
Foundation
shit.
stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, but I actually hired Rick Carge, who did Chickens and Kelly's.
Okay.
I go, hey, you kind of built these just
So you
for
like
fun
supervised it?
for the boys. Yeah. No, I designed all the trainings and made the whole. I said, you guys, he hired a gunite crew to come in, and we actually did plaster on that one, so it didn't get properly finished. But whatever, they redid it.
Okay.
But point is that the Combi Pool was kind of my baby. I grew up at the Upland Combi, and I was like, if you could bring back an era of, like when you ask what era we to the 80s, like Chris Miller, Steve Alva, the Upland Combi, something about that era was just before X Games. This was amazing.
Yeah.
So to bring the Combi back and have it at Vans, and it's still there 20 years later.
It's crazy.
And now they did the reverse. I heard, just so you guys know, the reverse Combi, I heard the reason they did a reverse was in case anyone complains, then they won't say they tried to replicate, because mine was a replica. We did a replica of the original Combi. We moved the shallow into the middle and kind of made some adjustments to where the one at Vans, that's been there 20 years, is more of a modern version of the original Combi. Was too gnarly. It was crazy. Okay. A lot of vert, a lot of crazy. So mine was more modern. It was more playful. Okay. People love it. To this day, that Vans pool party is one of the greatest events.
It's one of the best events ever.
Yeah. And it's playful. Guys could just rip it and tear it and whatever. So now they
the crowd
did it.
goes nuts.
Yeah, they flipped it so that in case people complain, oh, well, it's reversed, so you can't really complain.
Why would people complain?
Because the round pool that
because
was in the right is now the round pool to the left. They flipped the whole thing. The round pool's here. It's here. Because everyone complains. Everyone's like, oh, this isn't as good. The trains aren't perfect or whatever. And they did change it. Like, they did change. The shallow's a little more open. The hip is a little bigger. They made some adjustments to it. Okay. As I did to the original one.
Sure.
So,
you got to make it better.
They thought they made it better. I don't know. Whatever.
Okay.
I mean, for the new kids, maybe it's bigger and better. I'm an old school guy, so I kind of like the original thing better. But
God, I feel nowadays you could put a flat bar on the ceiling and somebody's going to skate it.
Yeah.
Like somehow, some way, somebody's going to hit that flat bar.
It's very rideable and people love it, so we can't complain that way. But big ups to Vans for all the years. They put money into the industry.
Oh,
They kept it going.
Constantly
And they're like a family vibe. Steve Van Doren, the whole crew, like, I love it that they...
It got you a snowmobile.
They put a lot of money. They put a lot of money back into
Fuck yeah, they do.
And it's come back. They're doing great these days. So that's cool. I remember back in the day going to like the Vans stores when it was just like a little thing, and they sponsored like Tony Alva and these guys.
Right.
This is like a skateboarding shoe, and years later you got like Adidas, Nike trying to grab on it. Well, Vans is original.
OG
Since '66.
Yeah, man. 66.
Yeah, it's funny because Danny Wayne, those guys used to wear. They'd wear like whatever in the day and the nighttime. They wear Nikes, and that's why DC started. They wanted like a really quality shoe.
Right.
So that's why they came with the DC thing.
You got wearing Vans, rocking Vans.
Kyle Walker. I'm looking behind your head. I see the Kyle Walker right there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, K-Walk.
That's right, man. Yeah. Kelly, will you go grab him some gear? What do you, XL? Do you wear...
Give me triple X, quadruple X. No,
quadruple?
No, double X. My life is triple X. No, I could fit an XL, but I like it. I like it loose. Thanks, Kelly. He actually helped me park my car today. Yeah, Kelly.
Did you get out and he parked it for you?
Yeah,
like a valet?
No, he moved the trash cans, whatever, because there was no parking on the street. We had to go in the alley.
Yeah.
Back alley, Sally.
Back alley. Yep. Oh.
It's beautiful, this place.
Back alley, Sally?
3 spots.
3 spots, that's right.
Yeah.
Dude, Dave, what are you going to do? Like, okay, you're going to Estonia in a couple weeks.
Go to Estonia in a couple weeks.
What do you, when you get back, what are you going to do? Like, we
got some girls thing going on at Vans, HB,
Sick.
which is my local home park. I love it.
Dope.
Got the basic pool party in April, another little backyard deal in Huntington.
Your schedule
is
going on.
The Dew Tour is going on in Long Beach. That's coming up. Usually we do the Combi thing. I think they're canceling the Combis this year because of all Olympic shit going on. But then I got Prague coming up next month. I got Spain. Just another year on the road.
You said you had millions of miles, right?
1,600,000 on United.
Are you upgrading to business class on these trips?
All the time.
Okay, good. I'm just making sure. You got to be comfortable.
The red carpet, that's one of my things is I take empty water bottles. I go and fill them up with beer or whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
Get on the plane and just like, I'm just set. I mean, even though you get free drinks international, whatever, but just get free food and drink. No, it's amazing.
Well, because it's
different than the regular life.
You're on a 10-hour flight, man. You got to be comfortable, bro.
Yeah. And you get the movies. I sit back, watch a movie, relax. That's beautiful. That's why I don't go to the movies. I just watch them on the plane.
Yeah, use those miles, man. Get the business class.
Yeah.
Man, upgrades.
Your favorite movie?
Oh my God, too many. Scarface is a good one.
Scarface. Yeah, it's funny. I had Goodfellas on my mind.
Goodfellas is good too. I like the one Vacation with Chevy Chase where they go across the country or whatever.
Oh, National Lampoon.
Oh, yeah, that's funny. I don't know. I had too many.
So you're not a big movie guy. You watch them on the plane. And thank you, Kelly, bro. We have a presents for you, dude.
Oh, let me see this mug.
Wait a minute. Hold on. This is that's our burning mug.
Oh my God.
That's our burning mug.
Look at this. You should have brought this out first thing. I would have been hyping up all night.
You've been hyping up the Krav mug. Wait. First of all, Dave, hold on. First of all,
grab your hand.
I want to shake your hand, bro. Thank you so much, bro. This has been incredible.
Thanks, Raj.
Thank you. It's been
I
incredible.
feel like we've been going for a couple hours now, but I feel like I've gotten
We only scratched the surface.
I feel like we've only scratched the surface.
We're
I feel like
scratching
I feel like I've gotten a life lesson, like a lifetime of skateboarding. Like
40 years. 40 years.
You got 40 more in you.
You got the steel wheels behind you. The
40
roller
more-
derby.
Yeah.
Look, it's at number 10. You can't give that thing a number. Who decided it was a number?
I know,
10?
number 10.
That's what I was wondering earlier. I'm like,
I don't know.
Is there
I
like
don't know,
1
yeah.
through 9 that we never saw?
I don't know. Hopefully the judging scale was 1 to 10 on that. One.
Hey, can I take this out back and do a manual on it?
You know, I would love to see that. But look at how much tail you have.
I know,
right?
right?
Right.
I don't think they thought about tricks right. I think they thought about just rolling.
Let me ask you a
around
question.
inside
You got this. This is a, like you said. You this is the first board you had. I mean, obviously you got it at a garage sale, but like, what is this worth nowadays? Are people paying anything for this on eBay?
Nothing. Look,
Really?
It's a piece of shit.
Why? Piece of shit. I know,
it really
but
is. Look at
I mean, look,
what
look,
can you do on it?
I mean, you could just make that, whatever. You know what I mean?
no, I mean, yeah.
If Stacey Peralta wrote in
No,
here, like,
but
this is my first skateboard, it's probably worth a lot more.
that's
yes.
true. That's true. You never know. Garage sale.
I remember breaking these. I remember breaking these little kingpin things. Here.
Oh,
put a nail
really?
Through there, like
It's a pin. Yeah.
Oh, it is how it is. So this actually, they don't turn though.
they kind of do.
a little bit.
They kind of do. Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever. It's come a long way. That's,
It has
that's
come
the
a long
60s,
way.
like you said.
Where will it go next, man? Hoverboards, bro.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
you'll be
the
announcing
terrain.
the
It's the terrain.
hoverboard championships 2040.
Hoverboard. Yeah, that's a funny one.
Here's a.
Happen.
I know, right? Here's a double X.
Oh, that'll work. That'll fit me. Double X is good. Thank you.
Crew neck for you, bro.
That's me. Love
You a
the
beanie
connect.
dude?
I'm a beanie dude.
Snowboarding?
I'm a
Next time you go up to the
snowboarder.
mountains,
let's
bro,
go.
there's a
I'll-
9
I
Club.
will hashtag it for you.
9 Club
Keyboard.
New Era.
I'm down with New Era. I've
New
been
Era
to some
beanie.
crazy New Era parties. Thanks for free drinks, New Era.
And also a double X
I'm
shirt.
Black is me. I'm going to
you
the club
go,
tonight.
bro.
The 9 Club tonight. You guys coming? Let's go. 9 Club.
I'm not a club guy, but I think it'd be fun with you. I think it'd be
You're
fun.
a 9 Club guy. You're not a club guy.
I'm not a nightclub. I don't go to the nightclub.
9 Club.
I'm a 9
The
club.
9 Club.
Where are you
guy.
partying in Huntington?
We're here. Hurricanes is my local spot. Gallagher is the Irish bar. Any Irish bar in the world, if you want to have fun, Irish
That's
people.
it?
I mean, I'm part Scottish. Irish is my roots, but
Okay.
you know they party. Those people. It's part of me. It is what it is.
I love it, bro. I love it. Will you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Will you come back sometime and hang out with
Anytime.
us again?
I'll come
Fuck
back
yeah.
tomorrow.
Because I feel like tomorrow. Because I feel like we could
Can I
talk.
spend the night?
Yeah.
Hang out with Roger.
Got a nice comfy couch, bro. I feel,
yeah.
I feel like we could talk forever, bro.
Yeah, for
and I
sure,
feel like
for
we,
sure.
like Raj said, I don't even think we've scratched the surface.
right.
We got a lot of amazing stories out of you today, though, man.
Thank you.
It's
Thank you. It's
Yeah,
been-
thanks
it's
for
been a
coming.
good time.
incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was
Thank
great.
you guys. It's lifetime of skateboarding. A lot of love for you guys out there.
Man.
Skate forever.
Here's to the next 40
Keep
years.
going. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Hey, he's alive. Roger's alive. I'm alive.
That's right.
Hopefully you're
Yeah.
alive. Yeah, Kelly. Hope you're
Yeah,
alive.
Dave. hell yeah.
Dave Duncan.
Live it up like there's no tomorrow. See you on the other side.